All right. Does anybody want to do a recap of last week?
Does anybody know what happened?
Oh, last week. I'm sorry. Not last
Like
week.
a month and a half ago?
Whenever that was. Oh, or do we have we don't have a Jeff yet. Let me check and
No, we
see.
don't have a Jeff yet.
Oh, he's playing tonight?
He said that he was going to, but he's Jeff.
Awesome.
So I don't know. We might have a Jeff. We'll see. We'll find out. Hopefully we have a Jeff. I would be incredibly excited if we had a Jeff. But also, we could go ahead and start and see if he pops in. Or if he messages one of us.
Good idea.
Yes. Who would like
So
to?
who remembers what happened?
I can figure out where we started.
So
to it.
we left the town we had sort of overnighted in before. I forget the name of it. Got in the cart, drove for a little while. The ground got a little squishy. Not much came of that. But then we got to a bridge that was half burned. And during my inspection and repair trip, Paul went with me and was helping me to inspect it, and almost went into the almost went into the ravine when one of the boards broke.
Break a bridge and I help.
Yeah. So then we got that fixed and kept on. We came across the what was it? It was the Lake and Rope clan.
Yeah, the Lake and Rope clan.
The Lake and Rope clan, and there was a little skirmish, brouhaha. My horse Quimby got knocked down and had to be brought back, and we wound up killing one of them. Maybe.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, we killed like
a meat crayon.
Yeah, he became a meat crayon.
I think.
Oh, that's so bad.
And then there was a
attacked us.
There was a little girl who I'm still not clear on whether she was running away or why she was running away or anything like that. But she was one of the ones, and we knocked her down, then brought her back, and got her back with the rest of her clan, and continued on our way. And then Paul talked to something, I think, and tried to explain.
Was it a raccoon or a squirrel or something?
Tried to explain money, but he doesn't.
Raccoon, yep.
He didn't really understand money well. And so it didn't go well.
That depends on how you define well.
Well, true. And then later there was something about like a rock that was painted gold.
Yeah,
a
little
polished
girl
stone.
snuck up to camp and left it.
Yeah.
Sort of as a present for us or whatever. And
Yeah.
you guys decided to give it to Paul.
Right. And
yeah, and there's something about this polished stone. We're not sure what it is, but I think we've been given the inference that it might be way more than just a polished stone. And you gave it to the one person who doesn't barter well.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to get that back from Paul.
No, because it was painted, but didn't I put it in my mouth and like
yes, you
all
did.
the paint come off of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So now it's really,
it was
really
painted
pretty.
Gold.
It's it's a real nice rock. Paul doesn't know why.
It's a really pretty rock.
It's real pretty. It's real pretty.
But it's a real, I like this rock.
It's a great rock.
I got a rock.
And I don't really remember where we left it. That's about as much as I remember.
Weren't we coming up on the Emerald City at this point? Like we ended where we like we're coming up to the Emerald City,
Yes.
or
I forget what time of day it was. Was it? Had you started
You said,
again?
I
And
think it
it's
was
like,
a half day after, so it's probably midday.
okay, cool. Yeah. So you guys are coming upon the Emerald City, with your handy dandy napkin map that is oh so informative. Um, it's real terrible. It's a bad map, but you know you got it from a drunk guy at a bar. So what do you expect? Um,
Was it Paul?
so no, this is Edgar
No.
Allan Poe. This is a different drunk guy at a bar. Um,
Yeah, it looked the
so
same.
it was a
Less
gnome.
alcohol, more opium.
yeah, we're because we have to deliver that letter to. Is it Tenebros? Is the name of the guy?
Yes, I believe. Yes,
I've
Tenebros.
got
Yes.
I've got Tenebros and then comma next to it Emerald City delivering letter for Poe. So
Yes. Yes.
and then there's
We-
Trethul, who is the leather worker in Orwin that we're also delivering a letter for.
Bada
Mhm.
bing,
But
yes
it's
indeed.
along the other route. So.
Yes.
Yeah, through the desert.
Correct. So as you
Because
guys
Orwin has the mines that we have to go
Yes.
to, right? Because the mines are
Indeed.
where they dug up the memories. Okay.
Correct.
Cool. On the same
To
page.
the desert with the horse no name.
What?
Oh, something you asked us to remind you about, Danny, with our last long rest was wisdom saves.
Ah, that's right. So dreams, before I get into that, because we'll just say your first like little half day of travel was reasonably uneventful. So dreams, everybody roll me wisdom saves.
Oh, that's going to go great for me.
Yeah.
Doesn't it always?
19.
Nice.
Ooh, natural 19 for a 19.
Ooh. So we have two 19s. What did you get, Steven?
If you want to just start with everybody else, I'm trying to get my dice app to come up.
Ah, because he doesn't trust the real ones.
Well, more importantly, they're out in the car, and I'm stuck in the bedroom because the place where I usually play has a bed in it.
That is fair. That is understandable. Okay. Nate.
I got a 9.
Ouch. Okay. We'll get back to you in just a second. And Thea.
17.
17. Okay. So most of you did quite well. 15. Okay. So
Some wise mother cluckers.
yeah, you're having a pretty decent night of it. Thea, you do have some very vivid dreams. Kind of what happens when all of the strange things that you've seen so far come together in a really psychedelic kind of a fever dream, but your brain identifies pretty easily that it is just that. So for you, Nate, on the other hand,
I'm still
Be to
here.
bed.
I'll be right back.
okay. um, so for you, Nate, when you bed down for the night, you have this sensation of burning that's very familiar to you, kind of through your wings, where your wings once were. This kind of acidic burn, where once you had this beautiful. My brain says rack of wings. That's a really bad. It's a bad term to apply here. Where you once had these beautiful white feathered wings, you can feel in your veins something passing through, and feels like you're boiling from the inside as your wings burn away in fire. And you wake kind of screaming and wake the people next to you for just a second while you come back around and realize that you're still where you were before, with all of your with all of the people around you, and that you're not currently being effectively burned alive. So
Or
yeah,
are my shadow wings out?
I will let you make that call. Are they?
Probably. If it's that
Probably.
intense of a dream, then yeah, probably.
All right. So your big spiky skeletal wings are now deployed.
Um,
I'm gonna look around to see who's awake.
Well, now
Um,
probably most people because you screamed.
is everything okay?
Oh yeah, I just had a really bad dream. I don't sleep so well these days.
Don't worry, it happens to the best of us.
And the worst.
Nothing to be ashamed about.
It's okay. It's okay. Go back to sleep.
I can try to write you a good dream. I don't know if you'll get it. I don't know how to give it to one specific person, but I'll
Think
just
you would
write down
probably
something
need to ask
nice,
your patron.
and maybe it'll find you.
I
I
can give you
appreciate that.
something that'll
Thank you.
work. It's called
What's that?
alcohol.
So Player Nate was thinking that.
Of course you were. That makes sense.
I might take a little sip just to take the edge off.
So Thea, what are you writing for him?
A bunny hopping through a field of flowers, and it finds a farm full of carrots.
It's a delightfully perky childlike dream. I like it. Well, roll me a performance check first off.
Okay. What is that's under charisma? Okay. 24.
Nice. So this is a very well written dream. While indeed it might just be about a bunny going and finding a field of carrots, the detail is amazing, and it's like over the top spectacular. Like the carrots are like glimmering beacons of hope in a field of awesome, and and now I would like for you to are you going to try to do anything specific to kind of dictate that this be for him? Is there something you're going to try to do to make sure that it gets to him?
I'll just say a
Give
quick
the bunny
little
skeletal wings.
I'll just say a quick little prayer to Morpheus, and I'll like at the top of it I'll write I forgot your character's name. For pirate.
Iron.
All right. Evens or odds?
Oh, odds.
Good deal. Um,
Everybody
so
chooses odds.
it worked out for her this time, though. I was a 5. I did intend on grabbing the D20, and I grabbed the D10, but the 10, but there are still half and half there. So while you don't necessarily get a response, Pyron, you do indeed, once you are able to fall asleep again, you have this amazing dream about how you are a bunny, and you see a field of gold before you, and in that field of gold, you see these gigantic things that you can recognize as carrot greens in the distance, and it's amazing. You hop
I
towards
see
them.
fields of gold.
You hop towards them, and as you pull one out, it is a carrot the size of you. It's fabulous. It is a life-giving carrot. It's just the best kind of carrot.
I imagine this kind of reminds me of being home.
Interesting.
The way she described it.
Dig it.
Yeah,
Heavenly
that's how you get
fields.
carrots out.
The carrots
This is
are
how-
heavenly.
This is how you
So-
get what?
Carrots out. You dig them out. Never mind.
No. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not.
I know. All
So it
right.
begins.
So the rest of you, the rest of you, just kind of have a reasonably normal night's sleep. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to do, or anything personal? I know we kind of covered watches, but anything personal for you guys that you wanted to touch on, overnight, anything like that?
Yeah, nothing for Paul.
No.
Alrighty. So, with you guys getting up the next day and making the journey onward, you do pass through kind of a heavily forested area. It's never really stopped being forested since the lycanthrope incident. As you are traveling closer and closer, though, ooh, yeah, okay. As you are traveling closer and closer, you begin to see over the horizon these massive green structures that are very intentionally created, it looks like, to line up with, well, actually, I'm not sure that you guys would know that. They are incredibly artfully created, and the way that the sun hits them is particularly dazzling to the eye from a distance. You're not totally sure what they're made of out this far. It could be crystal, it could be glass, but everything on the horizon that is above, I'd say, like first story level, is either green or gold. And so it makes for a really, really beautiful horizon line in the distance. The city itself is sprawling, and you're coming into areas that are more populated as you progress forward. So, kind of outskirts of town, you see, you start passing farmlands where different crops are grown, things like that, and then begin to gradually get into more heavily populated areas as you're working your way into town. There are you guys going specifically to try and find your target early on? Are you going to kind of explore the different areas of the city? What would you like to do as you're getting closer to this, like, really impressive looking city?
Is anybody on the outside commenting on anything? Because I'm still on the inside and can't see anything.
That's a fair question.
I'm just sort of, driving, making sure that we're staying on course. I'm not sure that I'm saying much. No. Although as we're starting to get into the outskirts of town, because I'm not sure Teffin knows exactly what the goal in the Emerald City is. So he's going to start looking around for someone to tell him, okay, which direction do I need to start heading?
He turns to look for someone. He sees Paul, who's digging in his belly button and pulling stuff out of it, and just not even noticing the Emerald City. Just playing with his belly button, just like.
Looking
Oh,
for his own gold.
oh. I'm adequately disturbed now. Oh, goodness.
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep, thanks, Jason.
I love you guys so much. Also, that's so gross. So we've got a gnome digging in his belly button for gold, apparently. A confused dwarf ish person. And all three of you guys are in the back, right? The rest of you?
Pyron usually sits up front too, right?
I would be up front or sitting on top.
Okay. So yeah, you're seeing all of these things too. Are you saying
Yeah.
anything?
As a native, would I know about this place and maybe how much I would know?
I mean, you know of Emerald City. I will kind of leave it up to you. You're not going to know all of the ins and outs of it, but if you think that you would have visited here before just as more of a casual visitor, I'm okay with that. It kind of depends on how far you think you've been on your journeys yet, what continents you feel like you have explored thus far.
Okay. I would probably say that I've heard of it, but have not actually been here yet. I don't know if I would know. Would I know if there was like a leader, wizard type thing?
Yes, you would in some of
The
the
man behind the
stories.
curtain.
Actually, roll me a history check. Let's see that. Yeah, the man behind the curtains. See if
see.
you know
I
about
mean, we
that.
are
History
looking
trivia.
for a wizard, right?
Well,
14.
yes, but
So 14?
14, yeah.
Okay. So, with a 14, I'm going to say you probably are aware at least that there is a structure, a power structure in the Emerald City, and over this continent in general that is fairly standard monarchic. We'll say that that's a word. Uh, Sort of a thing. There is or there was a queen, who had passed away, and there is now a princess, Princess Ozma, and you would have heard of the wizard. You don't know details about anything, but you know that there is, um, a wizard of interesting repute here. We'll say that. Whether people think he's awesome or just really wackadoo depends on who you ask.
Oh, I know that he's really wackadoo.
You're positive he's
Well,
wackadoo.
we need to find a wizard. That's what we're looking for, right? So
So for Pyron and Paul, who are sort of outside, you may actually start to see the brass and copper works of Teffin's skin start to tarnish and turn a little green.
your copper that's been left out too long.
A little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
Now,
hey, Kevin, you getting sick there, buddy?
I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you're getting a little green.
Green around the gills, as it were.
No, I feel fine.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I just hope you're not contagious.
I think you'll be okay.
I'm gonna have you guys remind me of something because it's been a really long time, and I might have forgotten. Did I actually say that that Tenebros was a wizard? Or are you
did
talking
not.
about?
You just the name was Tenebros, and we just got a name.
Okay. So
But
you were referring
the
to.
guy that we broke free was a
Crochet.
wizard, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So we're
I was
looking for the wizard.
I was making
didn't
sure when you
know
said
that-
looking for, I knew what you were referring to because I was like,
Oh yeah.
I don't think he was. Okay, we're better. Okay. Thank you. All
No,
right.
we got to hand a letter off, and then we got to find a wizard. That's what Paul knows.
Gotcha. Good deal.
Okay. So as we come into town, I'm gonna casually tell Teffin and Paul. So yeah, I've heard of this place, and I heard there's a queen that passed away, and there was, I think, a princess that took over. I think there's some guy here that's like a advisor type thing. I don't know all the details behind it, but I don't know. He could have some information that we might be looking for.
Well, we got to find that one guy that we're handing the letter for, right? That Tenebros fella. So maybe we should. Well, we'll just ask. We just go up there and ask some people, right? That's the best way to do it.
Well, like, keep in mind, okay. From what I've heard, this is it's more like a royal palace. So mind your manners, and
Don't break people.
What do you mean by my manners? I'm a very manner. mannerism
Please-
kind of guy.
Please be respectful to them and to the guards.
I'm very respectful.
Okay.
This is me we're talking about.
Of course, but I'm
Don't worry.
Just a general.
I got this. You just leave it all to me. I'll take care of it. I'll find the guy.
Okay then.
Your video and audio is way out of sync.
It's like
Yeah.
watching a Japanese movie, man. It's great.
Oh, is it? It looks fine on mine.
Yeah, no,
I thought it was just me because he's in the
No.
next room and I can hear him.
nope.
Nope.
Actually, yours is pretty out of sync too.
Who's
Oh, is
mine?
Oh,
her.
our internet had
Hers
some
is.
problems yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a
It's,
really bad storm come through here for a couple hours,
Ooh.
and
Gotcha.
internet's been a little slow ever since.
Well, I'm glad you didn't get blown away with Dorothy, so that works. I'm glad
Yeah.
that you're, you know,
On the bright
Not
side,
I
toward
mean, I
Jordan
wanted to
matched
be
your
part of the
character.
story, but not that part.
True.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little too close to the story.
Oh,
All right.
And,
No, but let's just ask the guards.
okay, we can do that, but like I said, we have to be respectful about it.
It's like they
You
don't
keep
trust
saying that word like I'm not respectful.
It's like they don't trust you or something.
Fair enough. And then with that, I'll reach behind and I'll bang on the side for I can't think of your name. Steven's character. Let's see.
Eden. Yeah, Eden.
Yeah,
and Tia
Eden.
Crom
Yeah.
are all in the back.
Are you still inside? You're still inside, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna bang on the door for the side and just kind of get your attention.
I'll knock back.
Hey, take a look
At what?
outside. We're coming up to the Emerald City.
The only window I have faces the wrong way.
Open the door.
I will still be looking the wrong way.
You need a ladder to go up top, Keith. That needs to be an improvement, like a ladder from the back door to come up to the
I will
top.
put it on the list with my tank treads and everything else that I'm doing.
Is there like a little like sunroof kind of thing on the top of it?
You said like a
I imagine like one of those little roof things that you get on top of school buses.
Yeah,
You know, that you
something
crank
something
and
like
it,
that. Something for
just pulls up
ventilation.
like an inch or so.
Yeah, something for
Yeah.
ventilation, not so much for climbing up on the roof.
Okay.
We just peek out.
Just peek out the vents. Start treating
A
it
little
like a
two set of
sunroof.
eyes looking out.
Oh,
Kilroy was here.
For Thea, most of this whatever, like half the day, Eden has been sketching people. But
Just like I see this. You're just sketching people.
yeah,
Who are you drawing? Anyone specific?
I'm drawing my bells. Yes.
Oh, your bells as people.
Yes. My bells, in some respects, are people.
That's questionable. There's something creepy there.
He has
But
people
Paul
in
has
his
never
bells.
So,
Paul didn't give a
like you
shit.
like to think of, you'd like to think of them as people, or they were once people.
Yes.
May I see your hand for a moment?
Little bee.
If you turn me into a bell, I want to be like the really high pitched, annoying one. And then I give you my
will
hand.
not do that, but I appreciate the thought. So he'll take your like a
That's
finger,
awesome.
like your index finger, and he's gonna put a little bit of ink on it, and then he sticks it to the paper. So my bells are more like this. They're an imprint of some people who made a big impact on me while I escorted them past the first gate.
Past the first gate
Of death.
into the afterlife. Okay. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I helped Death to escort them past the first gate.
Anybody tell you you're a weird dude, Eden?
Luckily, you can't hear me. Although I'm sure Crom is thinking something.
The world may never know.
That's why Crumb hasn't talked at all. He's been so scared
What the
of the
heck
weird
is
people
this?
he's fallen in with.
Why am I
It's
here?
like, I thought I was a weirdo.
It's
What is
really
it?
beautiful
Prominent?
that you choose to remember them that way.
No, it's not simply a memory. I like that fingerprint is part of who you are. My bells are part of who they were.
I like
I'm trying to
watching
decide
videos.
if this is a sweet, nice thing or a murdery thing.
No. Murder is what I do now, not what I did then.
She scoots back like obvious.
No, I told you what I do, right? I told you my job. I hunt people who have evaded death.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, it's been a minute since we've played the game,
Right.
so
That's fair.
I had to think about it.
Yeah, so it's
Okay,
kind of murdery, but not really murder.
but they need to go, kind
Right.
of.
Yeah,
Okay,
they are
okay.
breaking the natural order of things, and because of them, other things go wrong. So
Okay. Well, I can get behind that.
or in front, that would work too.
Just gonna accept it at face value. It's like, it's okay. My God told me to do it. It's fine. I have to murder these people.
Yep.
I mean,
Okay.
it's been happening for centuries. It's fine.
I mean, I understand. Kind of just blindly trusting. Your God. Morpheus just handed me.
Pervert nature. It's not good. So I'm simply helping to right things.
Hmm.
Sorry, my computer's doing something weird.
Yeah, mine just did too.
Okay, that's
It
better.
was a multi-person hiccup in technology. Love
Yeah.
this. You are able to see through your little cubbyhole window in the back there, or if you do look out the vent somehow, you can see more. But out
I'll
the
boost
back
you
window,
up.
you do start seeing like you're kind of in farmed areas, things like that. As you get farther in, where the population is a little bit denser, you start noticing that there are different groups of people with like different colors and amounts of tattoos. So there are several different things that you notice as far as that goes. The predominant colors being red, green, excuse me, and blue. And they're kind of in organic kind of swirls and whatnot, and to varying degrees over people's exposed skin. So just a thing that you notice as you go. You guys are coming in for player sake on the big map. The outskirts are not shown. This is mainly just the city center and how it's divided initially into the kind of areas of town. But for your reference, you're coming in from the north. So as you're coming through, you are seeing a wider diversity of people, larger density of people coming in. You can tell that you're getting into town now properly. Don't know if there is.
Have we come across any like guards or anything yet?
This is not a gated city, but there are guards on the streets patrolling here and there. So yeah, probably before
Do
you
the
hit some
guards
of
also
denser
have the
areas.
face tattoos?
Yes, they do. Theirs. I have to remind myself which ones are blue and which ones are green. Theirs are. Oh, actually, theirs are red. Yeah. So the guards have red tattoos. Some of the older ones are pretty heavily tattooed over their face and neck and hands. The ones that look younger are not as much. But as like they seem to be being tattooed symmetrically. So they have the same amount usually on one side as the other, and it's being done in a very specific pattern.
Hey, let's stop and ask some of these guards where we can find this Tenebros guy.
Keith,
Sorry, what?
I said let's stop and ask some of these guards if they can kind of lead us to where this Tenebros guy is.
Okay. I'll go ahead and slow down and pull up next to one of the ones one of the next ones that I see.
When he pulls up, I go, "Hey, you with the shit on your face! I got a question for you."
oh
And Paul
dear,
gets arrested.
Oh yeah, that's Paul.
he clenches his teeth. Who do you think you are? You talk to the
I'm Paul
royal
Bomber.
guard that way. Well, Paul Bomber, why do you think that you can come into our city and tell us that we have...
Well, because there's no gate. It was easy. Nobody stopped us. We came straight in.
Fair. The other guard just kind of like face palms a little bit. I'm sorry, sir, but you're going to have to speak to us more respectfully, or we will be forced to infer that you mean harm to the people in our city.
You don't have to address me as sir. Paul is just fine. And we're looking for a Tenebros fella.
We don't know anybody by that name. The other guy is just like, his whole face is turning so red. He's like...
You don't know Tenebros?
I'm not
Okay.
familiar with the
Hey,
name.
they don't know
Tenebros,
Tenebros, so you got to find someone who knows what the fuck's going on around here.
Do you know anything about the man you're looking for? Anything that could be helpful? Like, what does he do for a living? What area of town is he in? What? Anything?
He has a letter.
A letter.
Yeah, we got to deliver a letter to Tenebros.
May I read it? Maybe that would help me infer better what needs to be done and who this is supposed to be going to.
Well, I don't have the letter.
So, you're asking about a fellow so that you can deliver a letter that you don't have to him. And
Yeah,
you
I don't have the letter. One of these other guys has the letter.
Okay. So...
Listen, do you know where Tenebros is or not? That's all I need to know.
I am unfamiliar with the name Tenebros, sir.
Is there somebody in this city who's smarter than you who might know where Tenebros is?
God, At this point, Thea's gonna bust out the back of the cart.
Probably a good idea. Someone should probably take over here. 'Cause I'm
Somebody
gonna
who's
leave
not
Julie
called
out.
needs to do talking.
And
Now,
I'm gonna walk out and I'm gonna look at Pyron and Teffin and be like, "You didn't feel like you should intervene? No? Okay.
I wanted to see how far this would go before they killed him.
Pyron, your nate is showing.
I'm just the driver. I honestly don't know what we're doing here.
So I will turn to the guard and say, my good sir, I terribly apologize for my companion here. He is not adjusted to cities like this.
His face is kind of becoming as red as the other guys at this point. The both of the guards are kind of doing their impression of Aradish. I don't know how things are done where you lot comes from, but here, that kind of behavior is unwelcome and unwanted. I believe that it might be best that you turn your cart around or skirt the town.
Yeah,
Oh,
things are real
absolutely.
different here. Usually where we come from, guards know what they're doing.
Okay.
Paul, Paul,
The bigger one,
you're here. I need you out here.
the bigger one that was the first to go radish red, just like starts to shake and he points his finger the other direction. Out! Out! And you see him
Oh, is that where Tenebro?
he starts to like mutter something, and you for those of you who do magic, or actually probably all of you who understand how your message jewelry works, like you can recognize that there is a message going out.
Sure.
We should go. We should go.
Just look at the guard and say, I apologize for my companion's behavior. He will not speak to you again. We will just be on our way if that is okay.
He just keeps pointing back the direction you came, and is very insistent that you get out. There are, from ahead, Keith, you can see, Teffin can see like guards on horseback coming forward, to examine the situation, and see what is happening with their other guard friends.
We should go. We should go.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's some more guards. Maybe these guys
Yeah.
know what's going on.
No.
Paul, I need you to catch this light over here. It's a lightning bug. I need it for some of my spells. You're the only one that can get it, and I'm going to throw a dancing light towards Paul to like float around his head. Paul, I need it. Paul, I need the light for my spells.
I feel like there needs to be some sort of a deception check there.
Yeah, sure. Let's do deception versus insight.
Ooh,
He's
okay.
laughing so hard, but silently, like the. And he's just like crying a little bit, laughing.
I love it.
Oh, you're awesome.
What'd you roll?
No, you're deceiving me. You tell me.
Versus your insight.
Yeah, what's your
Okay.
deception?
Cool. 28.
28? Okay, I rolled a 7. God, you get... All right, look, I feel like we got more important things to do, but if you need this freaking firefly that bad, I guess I'll
got
get
to
it.
have it.
I pull out my axe for this firefly.
I'm going to take the axe out of his
I'm going to
hand.
swat this freaking dancing light down.
We should go. We should go. We should go.
I'm going to take the axe out of his hand, and I'm going to flick Quimby into motion and pull around so that we start turning around, heading the other direction.
I'm just gonna pretend that I was not involved with them at all, and I'm gonna start walking into town.
So you got out while this was happening?
Smart.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, at least we got one person in.
So Eden's just strolling up towards town. We will get to his adventures in a moment. Okay. So the rest of you guys, Paul, I'm assuming you're probably not letting go of the axe super readily.
No, I'm just holding on to the axe. So if he's picking up the axe, he's having to pick me up with it. So
I'm just hanging on to it to make sure that the guards know that someone with a little more sense is in control of this weapon.
We're not trying to attack them.
Right. Yeah, so yeah, you guys are headed away. The guards seem to understand, like they see what Thea did. They see that he was attacking the firefly that's not a firefly with his axe. Slightly overkill. So you are headed back out of town. What's your next move?
wow, this city sucked.
I'm gonna start looking to see if there's any spot where I can, if there's a place where traveling wagons maybe can pull off and like park for the night. It's like I'm looking for the KOA campground is what I'm looking for at this point. We're not getting a hotel. We're staying at the campground.
There are, in fact, little areas that kind of gypsy wagons and stuff like that have pulled off. It is still kind of early in the afternoon, so there is still time to do other stuff. But also, if you don't want to push your luck and you want to stay somewhere close by, that's fine too. Whatever.
Yeah. So as soon as I find one of those places, I'm gonna pull in and find a spot, make arrangements for a spot, and back the wagon in, and that becomes our home base now.
Yeah, it's just a couple of silver. They don't charge very much if you're coming with your own stuff and whatnot. So yeah, you
There's
now.
like a person that's taking that we pay for the spot.
Yep. There's a little.
Hey, you know where this
there.
Tenebros guy is?
I'm not familiar, sir. No. There's.
Does anybody know where anybody is in this city?
I know where many people are, but it's a large city, sir. I'm
Well, who would
not familiar
know
with
where
everyone.
Tenebros is?
I suspect any of Tenebros's family, friends, anything of that nature. It might suit you to. I don't know what business you have with them, but maybe if you have a business name or something, that would be helpful.
I look at Teffin. Do we have a business name?
I don't know. I don't even know who this guy is you're talking about.
It's the guy with the letter that we have to deliver.
What letter? What guy? I wasn't there for that.
From the creepy dude with the raven.
I wasn't there for that.
Nevermore.
Who was there for that, actually?
Nate and
Thea,
I think it was just you and Nate, right?
Oh, was Thea not there?
I don't think I was there. I have the letters, but I don't think I was there for
Oh,
I think
it.
she was
I honestly
hunting
don't
me down at
remember.
the time because I was meeting up with the shady dude who was selling
That makes sense.
memories.
That makes sense.
I
He
think I
gave
was
us a map
working
that
from my
had-
wagon at that point.
That's right. Because he gave us the map that has where Tenebros is, right?
So, someone in the cart gang, evens or odds?
Odds.
Okay, odds.
Because why not?
So yeah, nothing happens.
See, you guys always choose odd.
You go outside.
Nobody ever chooses even.
So
So we don't know where this guy is, essentially.
you do not at this particular juncture. You do not know where this guy is.
All right, I'm just going to keep asking people if they know who Tenebros is.
So you, for
I
a
spend
while,
I spend the evening, yeah,
we will
walking the campgrounds. Hey, you know Tenebros?
we will come back to you guys in a moment. Let's see what happens with Eden.
Eden
I have an
is
idea for
asking
later.
around for the shade.
Say that again. Sorry.
Eden is asking around for the shade.
So the some of the first people that you see coming into town, you pass by the guards again. I'm assuming you probably don't talk to them.
Oh no. No, like Eden just sort of skirted as the wagon was turning around. He just sort of skirted the back and kept walking.
I just love that. So you can see in the distance the largest building that you can see is the city hall in front of you. It's a massive rectangular building with a giant green dome on the top of it. And as you're getting closer to that, you're noticing like the residential areas are becoming nicer and nicer. So there are a lot of, you're beginning to notice more people that have a lot of blue tattoos. And they are, it's just increasingly busy as you go. Do you just like pick a person at random?
Well, he's going towards city center first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then from there he's taking a left and he's gonna start asking at that point for some place called the Shade.
Okay. So you're okay, if you're turning left,
At
you'd
least
be
I think.
turning right. If you're going,
Oh, so we're coming in from the north?
because you're coming in from the north, yeah. Because
Oh,
this
okay, I
is,
misunderstood. I thought we were coming in from the south for some reason.
I mean, that's fair. That's how people want to look at maps most of the time, I think. But yeah, you're coming in from the north, so you'd be turning left. There
It
is
even says main road in. That makes sense.
no worries. I mean, it's a bad map drawn on a napkin, so you do see as you turn, there is a really beautiful, bizarre, psychedelic building on the right. That is one giant dome, and the whole dome is just like sparkling with various bursts of color. There are pixies coming in and out of that one, along with some other fae-ish folk that you are not familiar with. And you're also passing by the Vanishing Market. You would also have noticed, because you got far enough to notice this, that as you are walking up the yellow road, you hear and feel water underneath the earth. You also, at a certain point, will pass a gigantic, kind of brassy, coppery looking building that has a huge, I don't know, in my head it looks like the little vent toppers that spin on top of houses. Kind of one of those, but giant. And so you are feeling the rush of water underneath your feet and hearing this sound. But it feels deep. Same thing when you turn left on that main drag, left, right. Now I've confused myself. Right, okay. Uh, so, on that main drag right, same thing, you're getting that same feeling. And the people, as you go this direction, look a bit different as well. The market has all kinds of people in it. Would you be stopping kind of in the market area, farther down?
Well, but I'd probably start asking for some place called the Shade. Probably around the market if that's where the most people are.
Yeah, and that would be, there are quite a lot of people gathered in the market. you come across a strange little old woman who is selling odd, like, animal pelts, but they're bizarre animal pelts, like they're mice and like really small animals. And then there are a few larger ones, but it seems like they are for magical properties. There are people that are selling books. There are people that are selling like candy, like anything that you could want to buy. There's somebody selling this in various qualities. I'm not sure if he would be looking for anything specific as far as like a guide of like if they're selling this, maybe they're a little bit less kooky or what, but she's
Nope.
the first lady you come to. And if you could think like Agra from Dark Crystal,
Oh, yeah.
like this is who you're dealing with right now. Looking for the shade, you are? Agra Yoda. Well, I guess same person anyway.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
So, what business do you have in the shade?
Not in the shade specifically, but close to it.
Close to the shade, then. Oh. Well, the shade, if you take this path far enough, then it could run you right into the shade. There's,
May I ask what the shade is? It is a building, or it is a place? It is a thing?
it is a, it is a place of, strange creatures, more strange than me. They are made of smoke, and the entire area is it's a city of chimneys inside this city, and as it is a bit darker, gloomier, it is referred to by those outside it as the Shade. It's a nickname of sorts. It is.
And those who are inside do not call it the shade.
Well, I am not totally sure. We don't visit very much. It's a bit bad on the lungs, would you say? But it would make sense that they don't, seeing as realistically, I don't think anyone who lives in any of the areas in town that you would be most likely to recognize by the nickname designation. Rarely do they actually call themselves by that.
That is fair. I very rarely call myself by anything except Eden. It is a pleasure to meet you, by the way.
Oh, it is a pleasure to meet you, too.
She sticks out like long, gnarly fingers, weirdly big hand for her little body.
I'll shake it.
Oh, and my name is Bizette.
Bizette, it was a pleasure. I am very grateful for your time.
Well, I am grateful to have such a charming young man here. Is there anything I could interest you in?
Remind me, you said she was selling
Bizarre
mushrooms?
animal hides.
Oh, hides.
I mean, if you asked, she probably has them. She seems like that kind of person.
What?
Quack, quack. I don't know what that...
Quack, quack. Okay. Is there anything that is particularly interesting that you have?
I don't know, how interested are you in animal hides?
I mean, not particularly, but if there's something interesting there.
She does kind of she looks you over and kind of thinks to herself. Just,
Now, if I were a young man who seems to like to disappear into crowds frequently, am I something on target there?
Sure, yes, of course.
Things useful, on one's person to hide oneself could be useful then. So, some of my larger pelts would go over your shoulders and kind of give you a bigger, stockier look. I have a stink noodle, a tail that could be worn as a wig.
Oh, he'll actually like sort of pull out his long braid of red hair. I think I have enough hair myself, but I appreciate that.
Would you be willing to make a trade with me? I don't have. That's a beautiful, beautiful mane of hair you have. I would be most interested in perhaps making a deal, perhaps for gold, if you're not interested in something you see here.
That is not something I had ever considered.
Careful now. She's going to be able to cast spells on you once she gets your hair.
Yeah, but I don't think Eden has any idea. How much of my hair would you like?
I could work something out with you so that however much you're willing to give me, I'd be happy with. I would say I'd probably at least need, say, like 4 inches.
Oh, that's not a problem at all, in fact. Because his hair, when he pulls it all the way out, because he keeps it down his waist or down his coat, it's actually like most of the way down to his hips. So he'll pull out. He always keeps it in a braid, just tucked in his coat. So he'll pull it out and just sort of like hold out a length of hair.
It's beautiful hair.
Well, thank you. It has taken 20 some odd years to grow.
You're sure you're willing to part with such a precious thing?
I don't see why not.
Perfect. She kind of she starts at the 4-inch mark and just kind of like keeps going, and her eyebrows keep going up, and she's like looking for any indication of where you would be comfortable.
That's fine if that works for you.
About a decent foot. Oh, perfect, darling. I would say I would probably I'd pay good gold for this. Would you take 10 gold?
Sure.
Or anything that you see that might interest you in trade, of course. But if nothing interests you today, then what is 10 gold?
I mean, is there any properties that any of these have?
Few. Some of these are imbued with helpful properties in that if one uses them correctly, one could perhaps turn into the sort of animal that it came from for a time. It's the stories that people have heard from the woods about bear skins and seal skins. Well, that's not from the woods, of course. But those damned wood seals.
How much wood could a wood seal seal if a wood seal could seal wood?
Exactly.
Jeez.
It's but she's like, this could be used as such if one was to attune to it and feel like it's in their wheelhouse, so to say.
What is the likelihood that I would be stuck as one of these creatures?
Oh no, you wouldn't necessarily be stuck as one. You might be one for slightly longer than you wish to, but not forever. More or less a day would be the longest, but most of them, usually about an hour, something to that effect. It could be quite handy.
Well, let's do that then.
All right. So she snips the hair and kind of shows you her collection and whatnot, and
Shrivel and die.
Because all of his bard magic is gone now. You no longer have
Yep.
the ability to play anything. You
That
can't
was a
cast
very
spells. Yep.
Samson type bard.
Yep, absolutely. Samson Bard. Uh, so so there are deer, there's a kind of wildcat looking one. There are mice, there are squirrels, there are raccoons.
What is the fastest thing that's there?
Probably like as
You want
far as
cheetah
land
print?
animals, it's probably the wildcat.
Cat, deer. Okay.
Yeah, the
Let's
wildcat.
go
Maybe
with
the
that
deer.
one then.
Yeah. Okay.
A
So
naked mole rat.
naked mole rat. So she pulls that
How do
one
you get a
down.
pelt off a naked mole rat? Just like
It's a
Ooh,
good
I
question.
don't want to think about that. I'm disturbed now. Ew. That's ew. I
it's just like fine peach fuzz.
It's more like
I don't
leather.
know. I guess it comes pre if you're looking to just tan a hide and just have the
No,
hide. I don't know. I'm
Skin a
disturbed.
naked mole
it's that
rat.
gross outer layer of skin you get when you're peeling after a sunburn.
Yeah. Oh, that's nasty.
Just wear that
It's like you can
around.
see through it. It's real thin. You just like flip it on. Just gross.
Don't they make like Asian wraps out of that with like carrots and stuff inside? Call them spring rolls.
I'm so grossed out
You're never gonna
now.
eat a spring roll again.
No. Oh, you're a horrible person. Why are you
Thanks.
why are you this way? Oh,
Thanks for
man.
ruining spring rolls.
No joke.
Well, the reason that comes up actually is I had some the other day and I'm pretty sure I got food poisoning.
Oh no.
But
Now you're really never going to eat spring rolls again.
I might not.
That's so disappointing. Oh. Sorry, I distracted myself. So yeah, well, never mind. You guys distracted me. I did not distract myself. So you end up with this wildcat pelt. I will give you stats for that before too terribly much longer. Hopefully you won't need it before the end of the evening because I hadn't written stats for that.
I wouldn't
but
get tuned to it anyway. So
oh, that's true. That's true. So you will have it for the next go round. And yeah, she is going to point you into the direction. Pretty much, if you follow this part of the yellow brick road, then you will end up it runs into the dregs and then turns into smaller, or not dregs, sorry, into the shade and then turns into two smaller paths that kind of skirt the outside edges of it. So
well, he's fascinated by the idea of the shade, but he's on a mission, so he's gonna go to the edge of the shade,
yeah.
and he's
Okay,
gonna
so
start looking along the right side.
That's going to be a good chunk of time that you're wandering. You do wander past really beautiful areas. You see the Smeraldi spires are just gigantic spheres of what looks like it looks like green glass that go at least 20 stories high. These are huge buildings, and you can kind of see people from the inside. It's transparent, and then a layer within becomes opaque the farther you look in. So there are a couple of different layers of rooms within that you can see through, and then like the core of it is opaque. So really interesting structures, and it looks like very important, influential people are there. Behind that, I'm just kind of going through this so that you know what you're seeing, what these little things on the map are. It kind of looks like mayoral mansions, but four of them together that are kind of gated off by stone gates. And in the distance, because these yellow roads are elevated, you're a little higher than the surrounding place. You can kind of see that there is a cemetery attached to those four properties that's behind a gigantic, like the biggest temple in town. And on the other side of the street, there is a temple that is completely constructed out of vines. Really beautiful, lush vine work. It looks like there is a cloister behind that, and there are a lot of orchards that you notice on the way through here. It doesn't quite match your idea of the map, like where you would think of as being the dregs. It's way prettier than what you would think any place called the dregs would be. But there are orchards all over the place, and kind of interesting space, very green, the area that you're walking through. We will go back to the other guys and come back to Eden in a minute. Other guys. So, you've got your KOA campsite that you have established. Paul, roll me a persuasion check as you are going through and checking out all these people and asking the entire campsite if they know a Tenebros.
That's a 4.
Oof. So
Sounds about
nobody
right.
nobody is willing to tell you anything about a Tenebros. Most of them don't know, and it seems like they legitimately don't know. But roll me an insight to go with that. And anybody who might be accompanying Paul, you can make these rolls too. I'm not sure if you guys are letting him wander the campsite by himself or not. I will let you tell me what's happening.
I rolled a 16 on insight.
Oh, that's not bad. While your persuasion was not high enough to convince them of anything, there is kind of a looks sort of like a gypsy band of folks. They all kind of have tawny skin, slightly pointed ears, long black hair that's kind of in various twists and turns decoration wise, and very, very green eyes. And they tell you that they don't know somebody by the name of Tenebros, but you can see, at least in one of their faces, this like, I'm not willing to tell you what I know, but the name
I
sparks.
walk right up to that person, like get right up to their knees, stare them up in the face, and go, "Where the hell is Tenebros?"
I have told you I do not know.
You're lying.
I do not know this Tenebros person that you are speaking of. I am sorry.
I think you are lying. And you might want to be careful lying to someone whose mouth is this close to your crotch.
he looks to his friends and looks back down at you. Roll me an intimidation check.
That is a natural 18 for a 22. Sorry. Yeah, 22.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh. That's that is fabulous. Okay then. So what happened was you you end up you see him kind of look down at you and suddenly realize that you're actually quite serious. And he kind of steps back and puts his hands sort of over his crotchal region, kind of in a preemptive block. What is your business with Tenebros?
I have to deliver a letter to him, and I'm getting sick and tired of everybody not telling me where the hell this guy is.
It is because most people do not know him by Tenebros. He's not frequently called that by people outside of specific circles.
I don't care where they call him in the Pacific Circle. Okay, I just want to know where the hell the guy is, so I can deliver this letter.
There is at the edge of
All
town.
stresses me out.
Paul is a very stressful individual. It's,
Paul's not stressed.
nope. He's not a very stressed individual. He's just a very stressful individual. So he looks down and he says, there is an apothecary shop in the dregs, towards the ends of the I have to think here. Towards the end of the west side of the yellow brick road. If you were to follow that, you will see the apothecary from the road. There is a sign in the front of it. And if you are to speak to the owner and ask for the man by the name of Tenebros, then you would be able to more than likely find where he is.
Thank you. And then I just turn and walk away.
You're
Can I
welcome.
insight check this person?
Sure, go for it.
Okay.
So as he walks off, I'm going to ask the person, what other name is he known by?
His other name is Thrin.
So what was that?
Thrin.
Sirin?
Yes.
And then with that, I'll say, thank you for your time. We'll be on our way.
Thank
for your
you.
time.
All right,
Sorry
guys,
for
we
your
just got
mental
to
health.
follow the yellow
Yes.
brick road.
What did you roll? Sorry, Thea.
Oh, an 8.
Oh, he's totally lying. This is definitely not telling you the truth. You're like, these people seem
She's
shady.
a gypsy. You can't trust gypsies.
Yep, can't trust gypsies.
I got gypsy cursed so many times while I was in Russia.
Is that why the freestone luck, or did that exist before your
That was
mission?
before I left.
Okay, so apparently the gypsy curses had held no great value.
Although
Good.
I had not played D&D before then, so who knows? That could be my dice's problem.
Ooh. Yep.
Oh,
Although
it
I'm
all
pretty sure
makes
most
sense
of the
now.
curses that I got were to make me infertile, and clearly I have
Yeah,
to
those didn't take.
What a weirdly specific thing to be cursed for. Like,
It's a
who
Russian
thinks?
thing. There's a lot of curses and like weird superstitions about becoming infertile.
That's so strange. Yeah. So you're convinced that he is not telling the truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was he's in an apothecary where?
He told you that he is in
The
an
dregs.
apothecary in the dregs. We are the champions.
Is that your lighter up there?
Yes.
To the dregs!
To the dregs! It's very uncomfortable.
Onward to waffles.
Now we just have to figure out how we can get in the city without getting arrested to deliver this letter.
Yeah. That should be fun for you.
Well, if you guys don't want to come up with a plan, Paul's got one.
What, just walk over there?
Yep, just walk straight to it.
I need for everybody to appreciate the predicament that I'm in, because if this were real life, I would vote Paul off the island. I would be like, you can't hang out with us anymore.
Listen,
But it's my husband
any time-
in the next room.
if at any time you as a party decide that you need to get rid of Paul, you can get rid of Paul. I will roll another character.
Nope. Because if Paul goes, so does Eden.
Oh, weird loyalty. Weird loyalty.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a little bit more afraid of what character you would come up with next. Like,
That's
What's
fair.
that saying? Like the enemy that you know, or something like
Yeah,
that.
the devil you know. The devil you
The
know.
devil, you know. That's what it is.
Something to be said for being comfortable in your discomfort, I suppose.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
So, are you guys putting forth any
Exactly.
ideas, or is Paul just going to take off without
So
you?
I do have one idea. I don't know if it can work or not.
I'm all ears.
Does anyone have a disguise kit?
So I've been, dealing with Quimby this whole time while you guys walked off and did your thing. Dang it.
So lay down.
Those cute dance moves.
Don't know why it keeps doing that.
Oh, balls.
But I was dealing with Quimby while you guys went off and did your thing, so if you guys are talking about it on your way back, I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going? Why are we going there? I have no idea what's going on. I know the guards were not happy with Paul. So
Yes, I think we should get disguises. That might be a big help.
okay.
I mean, I have a disguise
That
kit.
will at least get us. That would at least get us in the city.
I think Paul needs to have a disguise.
Why?
I'm not sure about the rest of us.
Well, unfortunately, we've been seen with Paul, so that might cause some concern.
That's true. What time is it?
It's probably like, at this point, maybe 3 in the afternoon. Somewhere in that general vicinity.
If we want to wait until we hear from Eden, because
Has anybody noticed?
Lord knows where he is.
Where is
He was
he?
usually in the back of the cart.
Yeah, we could just
I guess
message
I
him.
would. Oh yeah, we could just message him. I can tomorrow cast Mask of Many Faces, which would disguise myself. And then we could use the disguise kit on other people, but I can't do that today.
Okay.
I think we should just go. I mean, why wouldn't we be able to go drop a letter off?
We're dropping a letter off?
Oh yeah, there's a guy we have to drop a letter off for.
You made a big deal about
Gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a job. We got to do the job. We got paid already.
Okay. I thought we were tracking somebody down.
No, we're doing that too.
Okay. But we're also We're also mailmen now.
No, we were going to the city, and the guy needed a letter dropped off.
Huh. Okay.
Side quest.
Oh, the
Side quest. We got 2 letters to deliver, and then on our way back, we got to stop by some mines. Yeah, we have 2 letters.
Well, who's the second one to?
Trifuli?
Who?
Rural?
Cthulhu?
That's what I wrote down.
Cthulhu?
And where is he, she, it?
Oh, that's the leather worker in Orwin.
That got real
Okay.
weird for a second, but I think it righted itself. Say something else, Jason?
The leather worker in Orwin.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what happened to your sound for a
working
second.
properly
Like
now?
you were talking through a.
Yes, now
I think you got too close to your microphone.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, my microphone's here. So
Yeah, so
I
that's
see.
that's terrible.
It fixed itself though. It's all good.
Okay, so we have 2 letters to deliver. Only one of them here in Emerald City.
yeah, did
That's
Eden tell
Okay.
everybody else that, or did Eden pronounce that he wanted to go to the mines of Orwin specifically to bring back the memories? Like that wasn't like a secret you kept. Like you were open about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he told everybody specifically because you guys had the other 4 memories.
Okay, yeah. So we also need to go
Mhm.
back for the memories because Eden wants to drop those off, and we have to
Okay.
stop them mining more of them.
Okay.
So I think that means we have to destroy the mine. We're going to be popular
We're
there.
still brainstorming that.
Sure. Like that we're still brainstorming that.
Brainstorming that.
Just blow up a mine.
Let's just put a pin in that for right now.
There might be easier ways to stop them from mining beyond,
Killing them all.
destroying the mines. So yeah, we're definitely going to want to plan that out a little
Oh yeah, I'm all
bit
about a good plan.
better. Has anyone seen Eden in a little while? Is he in the
Oh, he
cart?
snuck out the back of the cart.
No.
No, he snuck out the back when we were dealing with the guards.
Oh,
Oh, where's he going?
Like you do.
I'm assuming to find Tenebros
Well, then we need to go find
or something.
Hey,
Eden
I don't
and
know.
let
Let's
him
find
know.
out. Hey,
hey Eden, where are you?
I am currently where would I be at this point? I don't know. I don't know where the timelines are lining up.
So you would probably be past past the Emerald Towers at this point in North Garden and all of that jazz. Probably pretty close to your turn off at the Moongate Embassy and the marketplace.
Okay, so I haven't gotten to the marketplace yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're right like on the edge, like walking up to it, we'll say.
Okay. I am almost to the marketplace. I am headed towards the shades that the map mentioned to find our Tenebros person.
It's
Wait,
like map.
you,
map.
you knew who you were looking for?
I mean, we talked about it, yes. I don't know if you were paying attention, but we definitely talked about it.
Okay.
Hey, Teffin, tell him to follow the yellow brick road. That's where we have to go. We'll meet him there.
No, Paul. I don't think I will. So where do
Hey,
you
Teffin!
want us to meet you?
He has to follow the yellow brick road. Eden, can you hear me?
Ow! Yes, I'm on the yellow brick road currently.
I'm not using my ring. I'm shouting it through Teffin's.
Yeah, that's not how
Like
that
if
works.
he's on the
but-
phone to someone, like I'm like, I want to be that guy who's like, hey, tell him this. Hey,
know,
So where do we?
I'm okay with that.
Where do you want us to meet you?
Well, after Paul's discussion with the guards, I think it might be best if I bring him to you.
Okay.
I mean, the other thing is I could potentially also try to find us rooms for the night, because I hate sleeping on the ground. Uh, I could do that and have him meet us there tonight, so you can deliver your message thing.
Yeah, apparently it's a letter. I didn't know anything about that either.
Yeah, I just was told we had a message
Of
for.
course, all of this is on the party line, so all of you guys are hearing this.
Okay, I will let you know as soon as I find him.
Please deposit 10 cents for another message.
Oh, damn, I don't have 10 cents. It never gives me change back when I put a quarter in.
So I guess we're just gonna wait here until Eden finds this Tenebros guy.
Either that, or does one of you want to let him know about finding like rooms? I mean, I'm gonna stay with the cart and Quimby, but if you guys want rooms, that's fine.
Nah, I don't care. I'll sleep wherever.
I would like a room, yes.
Sure.
Okay,
Bring that over
How
to-
far, like, are we on like the outskirts of the town? Where's our little campsite where we parked the cart?
It's on the north end, right? We're north of the city.
Yeah. Yeah, the north end
Yeah.
kind of on the outskirts and the kind of sort of where the rural area meets kind of the suburbs getting into. So there are more businesses here and whatnot, but you're not into heavy populace yet. Just more slightly denser population.
Are there any, do we see any like inns or taverns close by, or would that be more into the city?
So you would know that, well, actually, you're still pretty new here, so you might not know this. You're not seeing any inns right off in this area. You probably you could infer that as big as this city is, there are probably going to be some in close to the city squares and everything. But there, you can't easily identify anything as an inn out here.
I just worry about us being separated so much. Like if something happens to you or Quimby or the cart and we're so far away.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't really know if we're gonna, I mean, do we want to wait till tomorrow and try again and hopefully the guards forgot about
Yep, they're likely to
Paul?
forget about Paul.
Well,
I
if we
mean, from
just
here on out, I think
stay
he
out
needs
of
to ride
trouble.
in the cart.
Is there? I wonder if there's a way to perhaps approach the center of town from a different direction and not have.
There is more than one road in this town.
Nope.
Oh, it's the main road. That's all we got. It is the yellow brick road. There's only one.
That is the main thoroughfare.
Uh,
But anywhere there is a gap in a building, that is a road.
No, yep. Uh-uh.
Well, yeah, we can try. We can try another road.
That
I
may be the
mean,
best option.
I'm up for that, I suppose.
Okay.
We always have the fallback here if we need it.
Indeed, indeed.
I don't know what you guys are
Minutes
worried
later,
about. I think we
he's
should
gonna
just walk
come on
straight in
the-
and just go.
Of
A
course.
few minutes later, he'll come on the earrings. Paul, when I see you next, remind me, I have a present for you.
I like presents.
Oh, good.
That's awesome. So you guys are finding an alternate route?
Tefren, are you keeping the cart here, or are you going to drive it to the other side?
Thea makes a good point that with it this far out,
Eden's gonna die alone.
it would not be good for us to separate quite that far. So I'll probably go ahead and take it in.
Okay. May I make a suggestion then?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of pull you off to the side here and talk between just you and me. What if we have? We're in a new city. We don't know the people here. We don't know if they're trustworthy. What if we have Paul on the inside of the cart guarding our stuff in there while we drive through?
That's an excellent idea.
It's not a bad
Until somebody
idea.
has to get inside the cart.
I've got. Give me just 1 second, and I'm gonna go around to the back of the cart, and gonna open it up, and I'm gonna pull a bit of rope off the wall. Hey, Paul, come here for a second. I need you to check something out for me.
Sure. What you need, buddy?
And I'm going to cast Rope Trick to set the extra dimensional space in the above the roof of the ceiling, so that it's like there's the extra room above the roof of the cart. Yeah, I think that that firefly that Thea was looking for it is up there in that extra space.
That son of a bitch. I got it.
Interesting.
And once you get up into the extra dimensional space, I'm going to ball the rope up and throw it in behind you. And the entrance disappears from view. You can still see out, but the entrance disappears from view and no one else can see the space that you're in.
So
I'm going to close the door.
What am I seeing in there? Like just like wide void space?
So no, it looks like an extra room in the cart that has clockwork, like gears and stuff built into the wall, and just little, pendulums swinging back and forth, gears turning. It looks like a little clockwork space.
Okay.
Like you're inside a clock face.
This was a terrible mistake, Keith.
Quick question for you. Are these mechanical things in here important? Okay.
Guess we'll find out.
All
Because
right.
there's Firefly somewhere in there that you're supposed to get.
While he's busy, let's go.
Yep.
Alrighty.
I was gonna try to reason with him, but okay.
I
He's
feel
in
like
there. We gotta
if
go.
you guys just don't explain things well enough to Paul, it would work out great if you explained things well enough.
So
We put him on the mission.
I'm going to go ahead and get back on the cart and try and find another route into town.
All right. Roll me, I guess for navigation that would be like survival. So, and if somebody else up there wants to like try and help you figure it out kind of based upon
I'll help him.
That was a natural 20.
Never mind, he doesn't need it anyway. Yeah, so you're able to kind of take a different way around. Would you be veering right or left, sir?
Oh, probably going to veer right.
Okay, veering right. You are passing through areas that are thick with orchards. There is, it looks like kind of off in the distance there's an observatory that looks like it has kind of a massive, it's a domed shape, has sort of like a massive lens attached to one side of it. You're passing a lot of residences that are kind of, they're built in U shapes, and they kind of look like almost group type homes, like maybe families have their own independent space, but then they have like a shared space between that connects the U, if you had to guess. So they're less tattoos that you're seeing here. The ones that you are seeing in this area are black and very different than the other ones that you've seen. And there is a heavier influence of one particular ethnicity in this area, and it's actually similar to the gypsies that you saw. Long
Okay.
black hair, most of them, really bright, like very sparkling green eyes, kind of tawny skin and slightly pointed ears. Not as much as the elves that you've seen, just ever so slight soft point, um, and kind of wrapped foot shoes for the most part. Um, yeah, you're passing a lot of odds and ends shops. A lot of them involve woodwork or food markets, different things like that. So yeah, you're able to kind of work your way past that main drag into town. And you can kind of see a glass petal pyramid, a gigantic pyramid that looks like it's kind of a greenhouse in the distance. And that kind of connects you into the other side of the yellow brick road. You can avoid the yellow brick road altogether if you wanted to, but you kind of figure that is that right-hand turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably just go that direction then. Try and get back to the main room.
Now, are you looking specifically for you're looking for an inn, shelter, whatever?
Keeping my eyes out for that, but the main thing I'm looking for at this point is actually Eden.
Okay. And actually, you would be kind of getting close at the same time. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to do
Do
this?
also let me know when an hour is up.
Okay.
All
in
is
your
coming back out.
in the cart, it's not going to take you a full hour to get where you're going. Like, Eden's walking a whole bunch of blocks. So you would actually probably see him from the yellow brick road. If you got close enough up to it, to the main drag, you would probably actually kind of intercept him.
Okay.
So on your way, however, you're not getting all the way onto the road yet. Actually, let me see if this actually works. Yeah, this is what happens. There is a kind of lanky figure that gets shoved out from around a corner, kind of stumbles over a barrel and into the street, and in front of your cart. Not immediately in front. There is time to stop.
Well, I'll go ahead and pull on the reins and pull to a stop then.
Oh,
and
do it. Run him over.
The person gets back up to their feet and just kind of sorry, and starts darting. Looks like kind of a young man, has suspenders on, kind of like page boy sort of look. Does not look like the other people in this area, and he is being chased down. Now the person that kind of shoved him away is chasing him kind of out of a store area, and is bolting to catch up with him. I don't know if you want to do anything with that or not.
I feel like I'm lacking context.
You probably are, yeah. You don't have to do anything with that.
Are
That's
they?
the thing
I mean,
that happens in front of you.
Are they going the same direction that we were going?
They're kind of going perpendicular to the direction you were going. They crossed your path as you were heading towards the yellow brick road.
And you said he kind of fell over something?
It kind of looked... You didn't see somebody until after he had already been kind of sprawled out into the street.
Okay.
But it looked as though he had been shoved and then tripped over a barrel into the street.
Okay. Yeah, I guess kind of without context, and unless somebody's going to say something otherwise, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else in the front would say anything or not.
Tyron?
We should just keep on going.
No.
Just keep on going.
I'm a-
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going to keep going.
Alrighty then. So you guys keep on going, and you are able to. You kind of see from where you are. You can kind of see that little flash of red, and Eden's familiar silhouette up above, and there are little entry ramps and whatnot to get back up onto the road. And a few grand staircases, but you're not going to want that because you're
Yeah,
in a car.
no. I'm gonna take one of the ramps up onto the road and start steering, aiming for where Teffin is, or not Teffin, Eden
Wrong one.
is headed.
There you go.
I'm Teffin.
Yes, you are. Good job. I mean, you have been known to have an identity crisis now and then, so I mean, it makes sense.
Every now and then.
Yeah. So yeah, you you manage to Eden. You see the cart rolling up, and catching you up on the Yellow Brick Road.
Okay, he'll stop and he'll get on the earring. Oh, you decided to circumvent the guard. You didn't kill anyone, did you?
No.
Oh, good. Name, disfigure, dismember.
No.
So you'll just see he gets off the ring and he just sort of slow claps.
So
I think it's this way. I was so he'll wait and then sort of like catch onto the sideboard and just sort of ride along and say, I was told it is up this way. We want to stop before we hit something called the Shade. Apparently, it is a place of smoke. The people there are smoky figures. Apparently, it is really hard on your respiratory system. We don't want to go there.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that.
But we are going close to there.
Okay.
It is straight this way.
And I'll just keep going. I'm not
And he'll
exactly
just
sure
sort
what
of,
I'm
like,
looking
hold onto the
for, so
sideboard.
I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for, so someone will need
Neither
to
is
let me know.
I mean, you will see to your right, yes, that there is an apothecary in the distance. It's a fairly large building, and has a kind of steepled roof, and has a reasonably decently large sign in front of it, just saying what it is. It doesn't have a fancy name, anything like that. It just says apothecary in very pretty scrolling letters. And yeah, so those of you who know that that's what you're looking for, you see an apothecary. I forget how many of you actually know that that's what you're looking for.
At least Paul does, but
Oh, Paul is in a clockwork place right now. So, yeah.
Does anybody know what
I,
we're
I
looking
went
for?
with Paul, so
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
told everybody
Yeah,
that.
Thea
Yeah.
was
Oh,
with
okay.
Paul for
Oh,
that.
okay. So you would have told me that we were looking for the apothecary then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case, seeing that, then I will pull up in front.
Good deal, good deal.
I will climb
Yeah.
down, go
Is
around,
anybody
Go around
getting
to-
Paul out of the hole?
Yeah.
go around to the back, open the door, sort of reach up, and you guys see his arm sort of disappear up to his elbow, and grabs a rope, pulls it out. Hey, Paul! And around where the rope sort of appears out of thin air, there's this sort of hole. And inside the hole, you guys see the inside of this sort of clockwork-looking space. I don't know what shape it's in right now, but... Hey, Paul!
What shape is it in?
How long have I been up there?
I mean, it's been less than an hour.
Yeah, it's not quite been an hour. It's probably getting close-ish. You know, there've
Close
been
to an
stops
hour?
along the way and stuff like that. Yeah, like probably like say for 40, 45 minutes somewhere.
I
in
mean,
that
I probably
vicinity.
spent 5 minutes looking for that thing, but after 5 minutes of not finding it, I'm just going to assume it's not up here. So
So would you have
How
stayed in the space?
how you said it's full of clockwork stuff?
Yeah, it's just full of like gears and pendulums, and it's like being inside a clock.
I spent 45 minutes with my tinker tools messing with everything
Okay.
that I could mess with.
What are you trying to build anything? Or are you just trying to?
I'm trying
what
to
are you
figure
trying
out
to
how
do
all
there?
this works because I want to utilize it in my tinker. And so I'm
So
taking things apart and so I am the kid who pulls apart the VCR and takes every little bit apart to figure out how it works, but can't put it back together.
so in my brain, because it's kind of a magical space, every time you take a gear off the wall, it disappears from your hand and winds up back on the
Aw.
wall.
That's just rude.
Oh,
You put
okay.
a kid in a candy store and then he couldn't actually have any of the
That's okay.
candy.
So I start
Man.
pulling the gears off and realize that's the case, and so then I start literally grabbing massive chunks of things and start ripping them off to see if it works. And I start literally just going haywire, just pulling stuff up, trying to figure out what stuff's working and how everything works in here. So
So at some point you will actually you'll see his arm come back through the hole in the floor, grab the rope and pull it out, and then he calls your name.
I stick my head out through the hole and I'll be like, "Have you been up here? It's crazy up here."
Yeah, it really is. So we're here.
How does this stuff work? Did you build this?
No, it's just magic.
I gotta figure this stuff out. And I start crawling down.
All right, and once you're down, I'll reach up, grab the other end of the rope, and pull it out of the hole, and the hole just goes and pops out of existence. I coil the rope back up and put it back on its hook.
That's a really cool trick.
Oh. I have something for you.
Oh, hey Eden, what's up?
I'm just gonna pull out the. Essentially, it's just like a bobcat, right?
Yeah,
Wildcat of some sort.
It's a wildcat.
Wildcat rug. So I traded some of my hair for this belt for you. It is magical, and you can use it to turn into one of these animals, but not dead.
I like the clarification there.
Okay. How does it work?
So there is a process with magical things called attunement. Basically, you focus on it and you think about it, and at the end of this process, you will understand how it works. That is what I have been told.
I see.
It takes about an hour, give or take. I figure we can do it tonight. I can try to help you.
I don't know how any of this magic crap works, but I'll give it the best shot.
I thought it might be something you would enjoy.
I've never been a not dead animal, so it would be interesting.
Yeah, me neither. Shall we go then?
Have you been a dead animal, Paul?
Cool. That's a silly question. Why would you even ask that?
Well, you said you've never been a not dead animal. I just assumed. You know what? Never mind. It's okay.
Oh, hey guys, the apothecary's
Okay.
here. Where'd that come from?
So, Paul,
Magica!
can I talk to you for a second before we go into this apothecary?
Well, yeah, of course. What's up?
Okay. I'm gonna crouch down so I'm on his level. I'm gonna say, Paul, we're in a big city now, and sometimes people in the city can misinterpret your directness for rudeness. I think that's a great quality. You get straight to the point. You don't mess around. It's good. It gets business done. It's efficient. We like these things. But people in the city don't really like it. So we have to be very polite to these people, and we can't be rude to them where they're going to call the guards and we're going to get kicked out. You
I get it.
understand what I'm saying? We're going to get kicked out again.
Don't be rude. That's pretty simple, straightforward.
Okay. Well, so you remember earlier when you told the guard you didn't like the shit that was on his face?
No, I don't
was
remember that.
Might have
rude.
thought
Do you
that was
understand why that was rude?
I never told him I didn't like the shit on his face. I said he had some shit on his face. What was about? I was just asking what that was about. That's not rude. What's rude about that?
well,
I'm asking a general question.
It's kind of your tone. Listen, we just have to be super nice to these people or they're going to kick us out. Can you just
Wait.
be super, super nice?
Am I not super nice all the time?
You're super nice to us.
I kind of think I don't treat you guys any different than I treat anybody. You're not making any fucking sense. Take some time, think about what you're trying to say, and get back to me when you got to say. We got some work to do. Come on, guys, let's go inside.
communication talk.
Oh my god.
I think that you need to work on your communication.
Yes. Yep.
Jason, take an inspiration for that one.
Yeah, I forget to remind you guys, you each have 2 inspiration points to donate to others.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm
My
like
goodness.
racking those inspirations up. I got 3 of them now.
I'm just gonna turn to the rest of the group and just say, I tried.
I've been trying for months. It's okay.
Valiant effort. It's a valiant effort.
Okay, well, let's see what this shit show's gonna be about.
Hey, you were just talking to Paul about being nice. Come on, Tia. Come on.
Oh my god, I need a drink. Okay, let's go.
Paul is
Eden
slowly
reaches
gonna
down
drive
into his
everybody else
bag.
to drink too.
Eden reaches down into his bag and pulls out a wineskin and hands it to you.
I take a huge swig from it.
It is really bad alcohol. Really,
Oh,
really
God.
bad.
I hand it back to you and I say, that's not my drink.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not good, man. It's not good.
No, it's totally fine.
I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you.
What is
He
this, a
sort of just,
rosé?
like,
Is
winks
this a
at you and is
rosé?
like, this is how I am friends with Paul.
You just carry the wine.
Yeah.
And drink
I
a
like
lot of
kerosene.
Yep, pretty much.
It's getting close to vinegar at this point.
There's something very
think-
wrong with that
I
alcohol.
think by next week we can cook with it.
All right, so we ready to go inside?
So, whoever is first inside, we'll let you determine your own marching order here. I'm guessing it's probably Paul.
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah.
in.
Probably.
we got a letter to deliver, guys. Some shit to do. I just bust the door open and go, "Where's Tenebros?"
There's this little dinging of this bell that just smacks into the wall when you do this. Like
bell just-
the bell is kind of flattened now, and the fellow behind the counter looks up, and he kind of matches the same aesthetic as a lot of the people that you have seen in this area of like really green, glittering eyes, long black hair, kind of. Sharp features and slightly pointed ears. He's dressed kind of in gray robes that have kind of green accents here and there. And there is just this massive wall of different herbal remedies and all of this kind of stuff. He is working with a mortar and pestle And when he looks up, like, it keeps going without him as he looks up and just like, excuse me?
Tenebros. I'm looking for Tenebros.
Sir, next time if you should come looking for him, could you call him please by his common name first, in case someone is within earshot? But,
As the rest of us walk in.
ah, yes, yes, like,
So, do
Yes,
you
within
know where
earshot, that is
Tenebros is?
important. Don't worry, we all know him by that name.
oh, good, very good, yes, next time, should you require his services,
Yeah, we
please?
heard. Yeah, by his regular name.
Yes, thank you. If you will wait here for a moment, I'm guessing I need to do this. And he walks over to the door and like flips the sign, and like I'll be right back. And he goes down a set of stairs that are behind his little counter there, and he brings up with him there's a halfling fellow that kind of peeks up.
I look over
And
at the end and go, see? Polite. It works just fine.
the shopkeep's eyes are really big and concerned looking. He escorts the halfling up, and the halfling kind of looks to all of you guys. Kind of got sandy, shaggy hair. His sleeves are rolled up. It looks like he's been working quite a bit. You, you wanted me?
Yeah, you're Tenebros?
Yes, in some circles.
We have a letter for you.
What was the other name that we were told he goes by?
Sarin.
Soon.
Thurin.
Eden is currently trying to fix the bell with a sort of sad look on his face.
Oh. Every time a bell gets squished, an angel dies in vain. So
So Teffin's gonna mutter a few words and reach out and touch it and cast mending on it.
Oh, thank you, Tefin.
Thea,
he'll
you
just
got
sort
the
of
letter?
bring it
You want to
back
give
up.
it to the dude?
Okay, are you Siren, also called Tenebros?
yes, and it might be better to use that once you know that it's me that you found. Yeah.
I could just go outside and start yelling that name. I think
Uh,
that's probably about where we're at this point.
oh,
I'm
please
so
no.
sorry. I am
Oh,
so sorry.
Why don't you
yeah.
go by your regular name?
Oh my gosh, you guys are really not good at this thing, aren't you? Um,
Yeah.
What, delivering letters?
so no, clearly you figured that part out. Well, actually, I don't have the letter in my hand right now yet, so maybe not. he, he looks over at Thea, who's like, you had one for me? Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah. Dig it through my bag and here you go.
Oh, it's from Poe. Okay, I'll open this in just a minute. So depending on some of the businesses that one might partake in, one might want to not use their real name, sir. One might
Fair enough.
not want to be associated with that. So usually people have a bit more tact.
So I would like to point out that you are speaking to the people without tact and telling them that you are part of a business that you don't want to be associated with. My recommendation would be to not speak.
That is a fair assessment, although given what you were calling me, I kind of assumed you already knew that much.
Some of us probably could have inferred that much. However, others maybe not.
That's
Some of us have as much tact as a 2x4 upside the head.
fair enough. Fair enough. Well, at any point, thank you for the correspondence. I appreciate the delivery. Um, I mean, did he pay you for this, I assume? Did he pay for
I
I
don't
don't know.
I don't know.
remember.
Did
Don't
he pay
remember.
I
us?
don't know.
I think he paid us. I think he paid us a portion of it for the delivery, and then we had to come back to collect the rest.
So he paid Paul.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds
No,
right.
he
So
didn't pay
paid
Paul. Paul didn't get the
Or
coin.
paid.
Yeah,
He would have given it to Pyron, I would think.
yeah, either Pyron or
I
Thea.
guess I
Pyron was the
really
one who
don't remember.
initiated the conversation.
Yeah, that's been a long time ago now. Yeah, it was probably Pyron that ended up getting it.
As
Okay.
long as he didn't pay Paul. Because that money's gone.
If he
Yeah, no, that
paid
money is
Paul,
definitely gone if he paid me.
and he's associated with a shady group. Did he rob someone to get that money?
Say that again. Sorry.
Did he rob Peter to get that money?
Oh, hey, Paul. Yeah.
Yikes.
No. No.
I'm really proud of this one, actually.
I quit believing it.
You
That's all
broke
it took.
Jason. You broke Jason. Why?
Oh my god.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, I don't know.
So,
I think that we got paid half up front, and then we have to come back to collect the rest of it.
Well,
I feel like that was the case, yeah.
boy, your trouble then. Hey, he's gonna pass you 5 gold just for the trouble. It's like, and please, maybe just don't mention either of my names to anyone.
So who do we
I'd-
need to?
I'd
What do
appreciate-
we need to call you then?
Maybe unless you have dealings with me in the future, Poe sends you with something else for me, something like that. Maybe just don't call me anything. Just don't call me. It's
Yeah,
fine.
but what if I need to call? What if we have to deliver a letter? Then what? How are we supposed to find you if we can't use your name?
I tell you what, since you would be delivering letters, you know what I look like now. Just at that point, just call me Serin, okay? Just if it's just letters, just call me Serin.
Serin, not a problem.
enough.
Easy to remember.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, maybe don't do anything too crazy with that name, okay? Just keep it to yourselves. Fair.
Yeah, of course. If
Did
can
we
I
ask
have a
why
moment?
he doesn't?
Sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I will catch up to you guys in just a moment. I wanted to have a word with this good gentleman.
Did anybody else want to say anything to him before giving Eden some space to talk to him?
I'm just going to start browsing around the shop.
Yeah, I'm just browsing.
I was just asking, like, did we ever figure out why he doesn't like the name Tenebros, or
It's
Do we-
sort
do
of
we-
implied,
Shady
or
dealings.
yeah, like he's doing something in the underworld that he goes by Tenebros, and Serene is his sort of
okay.
like stage name,
is
as
like
it
on
were.
the up and up name?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, if you guys are kind of window shopping around and whatnot, there are a whole lot of different things that you see. There are like potions of invisibility, there are health potions, there are different things like that. But there are a whole lot more of like what you would consider standard medicinal things, balms and like sleeping aids and different things like that. It's majority that kind of stuff. But if you're really digging in good and you have a decent investigation roll, there are more potent things to be seen there. Um, and Eden, your conversation, like it's a big enough shop that you can kind of tell. Can you not hear? I think his ears broke.
I can hear you,
Yeah, I hear you just
Okay, so
fine.
it's a Steven problem.
Steven.
It's always a Steven problem.
Sorry.
It's always a
Sorry, my
Steven
mother
problem.
apparently was calling me, and these are also connected to my phone. So it cut the
Uh,
volume from here. I missed all of that. I apologize, guys.
Um, so they are kind of window shopping a little bit, or I guess not so window shopping. Um, but they're wandering around the room waiting kind of for you. It is a big enough shop that you can speak with some manner of privacy if you whisper.
Okay.
Like, it's
So
not.
he's gonna sort of like turn his back to the rest of the room, and he's gonna reach into his bag and pull out one of the memories, but only like slightly.
Whoa. Whoa.
I'm looking for more of these. And he's
Now
gonna sort of put it back.
some gangster stuff there.
Yeah, hold on. You take that shit down the road, son.
there are some people that I've associated with that I know do that sort of thing from time to time when they can get their hands on them, but that's not often. You would
That's
find
totally fair.
them more down in the industrial district, down in the Munchkin Quarter. Um,
Okay. He's going to sort of project an image. He's going to use minor illusion and project an image of the napkin map. Can you sort of point me to where?
oh yeah. So things down there tend to move around a little bit. He's gonna grab a hold of the napkin map and just a second
And
here.
his hand is going to pass right through. It's just an illusion.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. He kind of draws two chunks in that bottom right-hand corner.
Okay.
So he divides that into two for you, and he kind of draws a block. So this here is gonna be the automaton factory. If you go down a little south of that, um, there's there's a prison entrance. The prison itself is not there. It's a different kind of space. But there is like a place called Tin Palace, and in between those two, there are some shops, and he tends to kind of bounce around in that neighborhood. He doesn't stay in one place for very long, though.
Okay. All right. Who am I looking for?
So,
But trust me, I'm a little bit more circumspect than my companions.
that's good to know.
It also doesn't
Um,
take much, I understand, but
so so you're gonna want to get a hold of a man by the name of Marquess.
okay. Thank you very much. Now, may I ask, what is it you deal in specifically?
I actually deal in difficult to legally procure medicines. Some things are frowned upon. There's stigmas for some of the illnesses and ailments. Nobody really wants to have to deal with those things publicly. So that tends to be where I am. I think it's dumb that people have to go hiding that kind of thing. So I hate that I have to be kind of sneaky about things. I don't like that, but also kind of feel like it's better that there's that available rather than people getting priced out of things that they need or
I
people
understand.
just not being able to get help.
We've actually encountered some of that recently. I appreciate the work that you do. I wish I had had something for my sister.
Oh, I'm sorry. You lose your sister.
Yes, although where I come from, there was nothing to be done as far as I'm aware. But
I'm sorry for your loss. That's very hard.
it is what it is, as they say. But thank you for your work and thank you for your time. Of course, I am appreciative.
Well, if you guys ever need any kind of medicinal assistance with anything, you come and find me. Maybe a little more discreetly next time.
Well, probably if that is necessary, I will come alone because
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Because
probably
he's
not a bad idea.
ashamed of us.
thank you for your time. We'll be perhaps on our way. They may actually be buying things. I'm not sure. But thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta get back to work, but if you need my expertise on anything, let me know. But this guy's he's real good at the stuff we can keep on the shelves.
On the up and up. I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you. And he's gonna kind of go back down into his little downstairs workshop. So, what are you guys hunting for? Are you looking for anything specific? Are
I
you
got a 2 on investigation,
Oh.
so yeah.
pretty
I only
jars?
see what's out there. Yep.
Like
I
it's organized in a lovely way. It's very meticulous.
I go back out to the
Nice.
cart, and I'm just going to sit on the cart, and wait for everybody else, and pull out my shiny stone. And just
I rolled an 18 on my investigation.
Okay.
Not looking for anything specific. I'm just looking around.
Okay, yeah. So you are able to see, like, back kind of tucked behind some of the more normal medicinals and things like that, there are potions that are labeled with things like invisibility. There's restoration potions kind of really high up on one of the excuse me. Oh,
oh, that probably hurt, huh?
that sucked really bad. Okay. So um I was saying a thing.
Really high up.
Tucked up really high.
Really high up, yes. Really high up. Really high up. It's way up there. There's
In
we're starting a
solidarity,
thing.
we all raise
Yes.
our arms.
Yeah. Rib cage. Charlie horses. That's just rude. So you're yeah, really high up. There's potions of restoration. They are if the tags that you can see, they are pricey. But they are there. There is a potion of flight. As far as the medicinals, there are things that looks like work with specific conditions. So, like there's some for burns, there's some for different things like that. Some of them have preventative functions as well. Is there anything particular that catches your eye that you?
So you said there were invisibility potions. How? So what's the price tag on those looking like?
I have a list here somewhere. Okay, I think I found the right one. So the invisibility potions are come on. Oh, there we go. That is 200 gold.
Okay. And the restoration?
Well, there are a whole lot of these. Oh, and there's like water breathing is up there too. Oh, that's greater healing is 200. Where is restoration? Oh, come on. I have too many things written here. So the potion of restoration is... Sorry,
No
I
worries.
need to
Oh,
organize.
Yeah.
I am sometimes bad at the organization thing.
Could be worse. I'm bad at it all the time. You've seen my
All
house.
right. So this is, well, to be fair, you have like 4 people downstairs alone, and you handle multiple households worth of stuff. So I feel like there's a decent reason. Okay, so that one is, oh, I put in a number that I don't think is correct there, because that's a lot.
For
I'm
which
gonna
one?
the potion of restoration. So I have in here 1200. Does that sound? That sounds like I put a number that's like one number too many, or does that sound like that's probably kind of where it ought to be?
So it paused for a second. I couldn't quite hear everything. It's a potion of what?
Restoration. And I have
Greater or lesser?
1200. Sorry?
Greater or lesser?
Lesser.
I actually have an app that has all of the pricing.
Oh, that's convenient.
yeah, I have a
'cause
PDF too that
like
has
that
like.
just seems...
Although I think I have the
Lesser
PDF on the iPad.
restoration. Let's see. Oh, come on, open. Nope, that's not it. Sorry, my app crashed. I'm pulling it up again.
Give me a second.
That's... Yeah, I just feel like I might be looking at the wrong thing. Because that seems like a lot, but also I'm not the best judge of prices for...
That's totally fair.
And we're looking for what? What was the potion we're looking for?
Potion of lesser
lesser restoration.
restoration.
Lesser restoration. If it were free loads.
Oh, that's why. So the reason it wasn't pulling up and crashed is because that's not a normal potion. Like it's usually a spell.
Oh,
And so
spell
there's not
scroll.
usually, yeah, there's not usually potions of lesser restoration in traditional D&D. Totally makes sense to be here.
Yeah.
Um,
What does
in
the
terms
spell
of,
scroll cost?
let's see.
I feel like I'm in a Delirium
What
commercial.
level is lesser restoration?
So lesser restoration.
Second.
That's a second level spell.
Yeah.
So your standard second level spell scroll usually goes for about 60 gold pieces. Sorry, 120 gold pieces. And
Okay. So it sounds like I probably added an extra 0 accidentally to that.
yeah, and just to kind of put
Yeah.
potions kind of in context, your standard potions usually go for like your standard potion of healing is like 50 gold, and then your like greater healing is 150 gold. So it'd be somewhere in the kind of realm of probably
Gotcha.
the 120 to 150 mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I would probably put it less than spell scrolls because spell scrolls for wizards can be put into a spell book and made permanent.
that makes
Sure.
sense.
A potion
Yeah.
you can just drink and it's a one-time use. But
Yeah. So we're gonna say like this has a 2-dose thing in it, and it's about it'll be about 150. Yeah, I think I probably meant 120 on there, but I'll give you an extra dose and just up the price tag by
Okay.
just a little bit. But I was like, yeah, that can't be right. That's too many zeros. So yeah, we'll say that that's the lesser
we're in
restoration
high
one.
demand.
So I
High in
will
demand.
I will go ahead and snag the double dose of the lesser restoration and one of the invisibility.
Okay. Good
And
deal.
you said the invisibility was 200.
Yeah.
Okay, so 200 and 150. So that's 350.
Anybody else
I'll
buying stuff?
happily take care of that for you. Yeah. Anybody else seeing
I
anything
didn't
that
see
they're
anything,
interested in?
so
Yeah, you
I'm
just
good.
saw it's a meticulously organized place and it's real pretty. That's
Mm. I gave myself guidance and still only rolled 5. So it kind of smells
Yikes.
funny in here.
it does smell kind of funny in here. It's
Smells kind of funny in here.
it's a little hot boxy.
Hmm.
All right. So you guys have all of that taken care of. Paul, you are checking out your rock.
Yes, I am.
All right.
I like
So
this
what are
rock.
you
It's a cool
doing with
rock.
your rock? It is a cool rock.
Uh, I've got it. I've got it out, and I'm just kind of staring at it, and just kind of spending some time trying to look at it and figure out. I don't know. I get the feeling there's something else about this stone. There's something special about this stone. I don't know what it is, but I want to figure it out.
You do get that sense from it. You
Uh,
kind of get a sense like it definitely belongs to you, or
What
it
does it taste
wants
like?
to anyway. It tastes
Maybe it doesn't anymore.
blue. Initially, it tasted a little metallic, a little
Tinny.
toxic,
Like lead paint.
little like paint. But now it tastes like a blue rock
Okay.
might taste. Very sedimentary. It kind of has
Sedimentary,
a
my dear Watson.
yes.
With an igneous aftertaste.
Yes, a little igneous aftertaste there. Um, so yeah,
It's got a
it
very earthy
it
body.
has yeah, it does. There's a really earthy bite to it. There's a little bit of a I don't know. There's a cooling ability to it, kind of not hugely, but there's a sense of cool to it. That's kind of
It'll be great for the
interesting as you.
desert.
What's that? Oh,
Great for
yeah,
the desert. Just
exactly,
stuck on a rock.
exactly. Suck on a rock, you're good. Um, so yeah, you've got uh, you've got this sensation that like it's not quite yours yet, but it wants to be. This is
It,
your rock. This
okay.
is the rock that likes you back.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna spend some time hanging out with and trying to get an understanding of what kind of rock this is. Would I
Okay.
know? I probably wouldn't know anybody. Like I wouldn't know where to go to have someone look at my rock and tell me if it was something special.
You
A
have not really
doctor, my
dealt.
friend.
Yeah, like not like a jeweler.
Well,
or
this is the
anything
Emerald
like that.
City.
You would probably not have dealt with magic items all that often enough to really know the wares, but I mean, the apothecary clearly by the pestle that was going without his actual hand moving it. There was some magic there. They seem to be decent at their job.
Do I
Maybe
have
they
the
know something.
Do I have the insight to be like, oh, I should ask them, or
Roll me a check.
You would think a city as big as the Emerald City would have
yeah?
somebody.
No, I don't. I rolled a 3.
Oh no. Yeah,
Have you
so
mentioned this to anybody that you're trying to figure it out, or are you just like?
No, you
staring
guys
at
are
it?
all shopping. I'm just sitting outside on the cart looking at my rock.
like you do.
Getting his rocks on the cart.
So
At this time,
What
though,
better
I'll,
than
I'll
getting
walk
his
out.
rocks off the cart?
I'm uncomfortable.
Okay. After we're no longer on air or whatever recorded, I have something to tell you. It's pretty funny.
I'm somebody remember that because I'm gonna lose it. Okay. So now we are done shopping, I take it, and all of that jazz. You guys come back out to see. It hasn't quite been an hour yet, Paul, so you still have this feeling from this rock, but it does not feel like it has completed whatever. Like you're not. It's not quite yours yet.
I'm not attuned to my rock yet.
You're not quite attuned to your rock yet.
Okay.
So you have some practicing to do just yet.
As soon as everybody else
but-
comes out, I just put my rock up. I'm like, okay, what are we doing next, guys?
Zipping up. It
13-year-old boys, all of us.
what is the plan now? Are we staying in the city and trying to find out more about Crochet?
Well, we need to find out about Crochet, but
the wall.
who would we talk to about Crochet? Like, who would be someone we would talk to about that? I could ask a guard.
Yeah, let's not.
No. Well, as you pointed out, they don't know anything, so
Oh,
that'd
that's
be
fair.
useless.
That's yeah. He just sort of looks at Pyro and is like, "Good, yep, well done, well handled."
Very well done.
Well, are we planning on staying the night? Do we want to continue to travel? We're headed towards the wall, but we don't have any more information than that.
Yeah, you're probably looking at, like, at this point, you guys met back up when it was like somewhere between 3 and 4 in the afternoon. At this point, it's probably somewhere in the vicinity of 5:30. So
I would like to stay tonight and actually look around the city. It's my first time here, and I would like to see everything they have.
There was a graveyard a little ways back. I wanted to sort of stop by and pay my respects. But I could also get us rooms for the night.
I want something
I'm
to
sure
eat.
they have something.
food, rooms, cemeteries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the usual.
We could see if there's a library or something, someone that would have some information on Crochet before we just walk up into his house and, okay, give us Prince back.
That's not here though, right?
So that's at the wall.
Yeah, we just know that he was heading
The-
towards the
Yeah.
wall.
You're asking about the library?
though.
The library is not here. There is
Okay.
a library here.
Just making sure that
Okay.
the library isn't here.
Yes, the library is not here. The library is pretty much almost its own little island.
There is the library.
There
That sounds like
is.
a fun place to be. Not for Paul, but just in general.
It is.
Yeah,
It can be. I don't know. There are some things in it Paul might really, really dig.
Hey, who turned out the lights?
Oh. I mean, if you go to the wrong parts of it, maybe. If the library doesn't like you, that could theoretically happen.
Oh no. Probably not a safe space for Paul then.
Probably not.
It depends on the day, maybe.
So yeah, let's get let's get some rooms, let's get some food, and let's kind of talk about our sort of next steps and our plan and what we want to do.
That
I
is
am
very
okay
well
with
thought out,
this.
Paul.
Oh, that was definitely not Paul suggesting that. That was Jason Baldwin suggesting that. Paul just wants food and beer.
That's fair. If you
Indeed.
give me, say, 20 minutes, I can get us a direction, and I can pay my respects to the cemetery, and then we can be on our way.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Eden, can mind if I go with you?
Not at all.
Okay. From what I saw as passing, there's like a really big temple. I'd like to check it on the way. So,
Yeah, that's the same place.
yeah.
Good deal.
So we'll start walking that way.
Mosey.
Cool. So are you guys staying parked? You gonna follow them kind of closer by to where they're going?
I guess we'll look around real quick to see if there's like an inn or something near the area.
So where you guys are right now, there is not a place that is labeled as such. There is something that is referred to as a hospitality house. Like it's just a small labeled thing that it's kind of beside the cloister. That's not far off from the apothecary. Um,
You
Not-
found the red light
It
district.
was the cloister.
At clearly, you guys have never had to do long-term stays in hospitals before, which is good. I'm glad. Like, that's where they tend to put the families when they're just like, you can't afford to stay in a hotel room this long. Like, you need to be elsewhere.
St. Jude's actually has a really cool thing that they set up for families and kids that are there.
Yeah, there are a few hospitals that have that kind of thing. We actually, for my grandmother, we stayed in a hospitality house. It was really kind of cool. But yeah, there is a hospitality house that is not the red light district kind, although there's probably some of those elsewhere too. So that is the closest thing that you see. Now downtown, you're only seeing a pretty small part of downtown right now. So
Do
You
I
can
smell
probably-
food somewhere?
yes, you would from a
Oh,
few
vendors
different
on the street.
places. Yeah, there are a few different places that you're smelling food from. There is a restaurant not too terribly far off. Like there's a Temple of the Five Fae up the road, and kind of to the side of that there are a few different little shops and restaurants. You can't quite tell where it's coming from, but there is something that smells amazing. There's some restaurants there on that side, and then just on the other side of the road, there's also the Vanishing Market, and so a lot of those places are also selling food. And there were some places that you passed on the way into that.
I
had
am
food.
following my nose. Like that, whatever it is, that's
Oh.
amazing smell.
Wait, Paul.
Roll me a d4, Paul.
A D4.
Let's see where you end up. Yes, 'cause those like the 4 nearest sources of smell of food.
That's a 1.
Okay,
I would expect
So-
no more.
absolutely. Well, in this particular case, it doesn't
Yeah.
there's no ill effect from this. So 1 is going to take you. I can just imagine cartoon Paul being lifted up by the little trail
Smoke
of
trail.
scent, yeah. And it kind of takes you past a doctor's office, past the Temple of the Five Fae. There are a few residences, and then there is a block of businesses right behind the Moongate Embassy. That 2 of them are restaurants. One of them has it's really colorful, very interesting diverse menu. A lot of like candied flowers and like different vegetables that are kind of shaped into really, really beautiful things are adorning various dishes. You gather that one has a large vegetarian offering, but there are meat things there too. And then there is another one that is. It looks like it's more gauged towards exotic meats, or at least exotic meats to visitors, things like that, things that they wouldn't be able to get other places.
I
So
go
those
to
are the
the
two
meats.
that. This is not shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see one of these people, same kind of general, some of the same general features, but this fellow is much larger and has a short wife with him that is helping out, and they're kind of running the place. He's cooking and she's doing the serving of the alcohol and getting all the food in its various places. And yeah, you're able to walk on in. He greets you with a big smile and says, "Hello, my friend. How are you?"
Yeah, I want whatever you're eating.
Well, I'm cooking right now, not eating,
No, I
but
mean whatever
I
you've
can
been
tell you
eating.
my favorites.
That's what I want. Whatever it is, I want.
You've got it, friends. Have a seat. I will be right with you. My wife will get you a drink.
And I sit down
And
and get
so,
ready for my smorgasbord while other people go pray.
like you do. Is anybody else with Paul, or are you guys doing the other stuff as well?
So I would have been with the cart, and as he wandered off, I would have pulled around and tried to follow him as close as I could, and then
I feel like I'm
once
being followed. Clop, clop, clop,
and
clop.
once he got to wherever he was going,
Stealth.
I would climb down, lock everything up, make sure everything is secure, and then follow him into the place.
Alrighty, yeah. Easy enough. It smells delicious. You're given the same kind of greeting. So, both of you. Very, very good to have you here. His wife comes and brings you whatever kind of beverage you ordered, Paul, and um, comes over to you to ask what you would like, and starts.
Probably just order a tea and something, the same thing that Paul ordered.
So she'll put in the order. She'll kind of call out to her husband what it is that you want food wise. She's like, "I'm so glad that you asked for tea," and she pulls out this menu that's like this long, just of teas. There's a reason this place is called the Dregs.
So I'll start flipping through it, and then at some point I will get tired of actually reading the list, and I'll just point to one at random.
Some really, really good choice. We made this ourselves last year, and it is one of my favorite blends.
She takes the menu and goes back and starts to steep you some tea. Yous guys, what you doing? You're heading. Let's see, Thea. Are you doing the library, Thea, or hunting for a library? I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess I could ask the apothecary, like in the apothecary shop before I left, where the library,
Yeah.
where a library is.
And they tell you that it's just off of the what they call the wheel, which is the center of town. They say that it's just off the wheel to the southwest. So that I don't know if you can hover over it, Keith, but yeah, that little blip, that the little depth charge right there. So where you are is up past the cloister, kind of on the north. Yeah, up there. So you're up that direction, and
Okay.
And Paul and I wound up like right here, right?
yes, correct. And then the cemetery that you saw, Eden, was behind the Temple of Holen. So yeah, that is where you guys are headed. All right. So, Thea, you end up at the library. Um, in this area, you do notice that there are a lot of people with purple tattoos here. Um, so that's a thing that you notice. Like the older the librarians are, the more tattoos that they seem to have. And there is the person who is in charge of this particular library is a giant purple woman. Like literally, she is a purple giant with a bald head. And very graceful looking for all her giantness. But doesn't have very much expression. She greets you politely when you come in and asks if she can help you.
I'm looking for any information that you may have on a terrible wizard named Crochet.
And when she speaks, like things rumble because her voice is so deep. But she kind of tilts her head. We don't have very many people ask about that name here. We do have some areas that might contain what you need. And she'll kind of gesture for you to come. She moves very slowly, but like slowly and deliberately, but it's very graceful. And she takes you down. It's a pretty darn big building. She takes you down several different rows of shelves, kind of into an area where you can tell it's a little occult tangential ish. Like this doesn't seem like the place would like the kind of place that you would be able to find like dark arts books of like how-tos. But this area might deal more with like the stories of wizards who have gone sideways and different odd things like that. And she kind of gestures to a particular shelf. Like, I believe that if you are going to find anything on Crochet, you would likely find it here. Roll me a perception check.
I will cast guidance on myself. Oh, and that didn't help much. 8 and 10. 10.
Okay. Let me roll for. Oh, deep, deep. Let me try that again. He rolled terribly, but his plus was a lot higher. Okay. So you don't notice anything. It's a lovely, quiet place to be. So you have the time and the space, and there are frequently little kind of desk areas with lights. I did forget to mention, this is the first place you guys have been, and you might not have actually noticed yet because a lot of the lamps look the same at this particular point in time. You wouldn't notice until the sun went down. But this is the first place that you guys have been here that has electrical lighting. So, yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah, they fancy. So yeah, you have the time to kind of look through. I will think about Don't sneeze. No, please. Nope.
Zdrov.
Don't do
Eh,
it.
Butter.
Butter, 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 butter. Okay.
That is pineapple.
Or
Apparently it's something different for everybody. I'm not sure.
I'm from the south. It's butter.
Alright, that makes sense.
Butter's the answer to everything.
Course. So I will come back to you in just a moment. You two, what are you doing in your search through the cemetery and temple?
So you're going into the temple itself, right? Is there
Yes.
another doorway or an
Yes.
entryway to the graveyard specifically?
Yes. So there is an entryway to the graveyard specifically beside the temple. So kind of on the southwest corner of the temple gates, there is a gate to just be able to access that graveyard.
Okay, that's where Eden's headed.
Okay. And you are going into the temple itself, Nate?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing in the graveyard, Aiden?
So he's going to sort of walk around, and he passes by most of the gravestones and reads them each as he goes by. At some point towards the middle, he's going to reach into his bag of holding and pull out a small plank, and he'll set that on the ground, and then he'll take some what is that cloth called? Velvet, some black velvet, and he lays that across the plank, and then he begins to pull out his bells from his bandolier, and he sets them in a row, and he'll begin to play a little soft, sort of mournful tune, just sort of to himself. And after a couple of minutes, he'll pack everything back up, and he says a quick prayer, and then we'll leave.
Okay. Does he pray with any intent to actually connect to death, or just for the people that are here?
He just prays that all of them will have passed peacefully, and that if there is any who have hidden from death, that they will find their way to the gate so that they can pass on.
Okay. Good deal. You do kind of feel as you're connecting with this prayer to the people that are in this cemetery. You also kind of feel this connection farther north in the city as well. Kind of, I don't know, a greater connection to the dead, as if you can hear, well, or more feel, um, that presence farther up to in areas that you did not see necessarily graveyards. But that is a thing that you were seeing, um, or feeling, I guess. Sorry.
Is that something that happens regularly, or is that like has that happened before? I guess is the way to say that.
You might have noticed, like, if you've been traveling with Paul for different, like, scenarios where he was fighting, things like that, and you were praying over one dead uh person in his presence, but you knew that there were others nearby. Like, there's a connectivity there that kind of, while it's not exactly as though it calls to you. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, 1 second.
No problem.
Um, I'll find out. Sorry, it's my little one is getting tired and cranky, and I'm
No
in the
worries.
room where his bed is. So
Oh, no worries, no worries. Um, we can.
I'll probably have to pop off here shortly.
No problem.
We are coming up on 3
We're
hours, just
coming
so you
up,
know.
yeah, we're coming up to probably a pretty decent place to end anyway. It'll be in the next probably 10 minutes. So, um, yeah, you're familiar with this sensation a bit for sure.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, so there's a connectivity to something beyond also up to the north in the areas that you kind of came from.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, just sort of
And
make note of that then.
yeah. Nate, what you doing in the temple?
So I'm gonna be looking around in the temple. I'm particularly looking for like statues and stuff like that. If there's any inscriptions on these statues, what they might mean. I'm also looking around just to see, what kind of priests are in the area.
So, it's kind of an interesting temple. This is a huge temple. It's probably the biggest one you've ever been in. And there
Better have
are
me in there.
Ugh. There are a whole bunch of different statues that seem to embrace the idea of several different gods. So this is kind of think of this as almost like a Unitarian church for this area. Like these folks are like, oh well, all of this is kind of all under the heading of Holen. And so we're going to make this a group place of worship. Um, so there are actually a few different types of clerics there, varying degrees of experience. It looks like that are helping to serve people who are coming in for various reasons. So yeah, it's a really beautiful cathedral, punctuated by all of these different spaces dedicated to particular gods. But the seating area is very much like it's a big open area, and the pulpit in the front is there are banners behind it that have all kinds of different symbols, a lot of which you might recognize as being religions you're familiar with. A lot of them you've never seen before.
Okay. The ones I haven't seen before, I'm just gonna take out a piece of paper and just gonna write a general description of it, and if there's any words or anything on them, and I'll write those down and just tuck that away and observe who's coming in and what they're doing.
Yeah. Um, I guess roll me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Ooh, +4. Yeah, not bad. 23.
23, yeah. Um, so there are people coming in from different areas, for sure. This it seems almost like it's more travelers than locals. None of these people have the tattoos that you're accustomed to. Every now and then somebody will come in that has the tattoos that you've seen through this city before. But there are a lot of people coming in that don't look like they're local, that will kind of go into the space that's dedicated to a specific god and say a prayer before that statue, and then be seated at the in the pews where it is not infrequent for a cleric to come out and speak with them. Whether it is a cleric that bears the same symbols on their robes and vestments or not, they are tended to if they are sitting.
Okay. Okay.
Seated, sitting, one of those things.
Yes and yes.
Butting to chair.
Yes, butting to chair. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll take a seat at one of the pews, and I'll just stay in there for a little bit.
Okay. So there's a kind of small, impish-looking woman that comes out. She has pink hair and has a few purple tattoos up the sides of her face. And she comes out in kind of white robes that have kind of different purples and silvers sewn into different areas of them, and she'll come and sit next to you. And it's like, well, hello. Is there something that we can help you with today? Have you come in search of something?
Not really. I'm new to the city, and I'm just interested in the temple here. I've heard a lot about this place, and just finally get to come visit.
Well, I'm glad that you're here. It's always good to see new faces from outside. We like years. I've been a cleric here for 2.
I assume you like it here because you're still here.
I do like it here. I like it a little bit of everywhere, though. I'm a little bit of a free spirit, I think.
My name is Pyron. What's your name?
Chloe. And she'll extend her hand and shake your hand. And well, it's very good to meet you, Pyron. Are you usually a religious man?
Shout out. What was your name?
Chloe.
You can try it out again.
K-L-O. Chloe.
Chloe. Okay, Chloe. Okay.
Yeah, you're getting kind of crumbly.
Yeah. Okay. What was that question?
Are you usually a religious man?
I'm somewhat religious. Yes, you could say that.
He
I can see in
worships
your...
himself.
Yep, there you go. I can see by your eyes that you have some interesting lineage. That's a fascinating thing to notice. Are you not really called to be a part of that anymore?
Long story short, I am out traveling the world.
Fair enough. Just so you know, if you're trying to avoid those things, you might want to stay away from the northeast side of town. The embassy is there. You might run into some of your former brethren.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Which, I mean, if you're not trying to avoid that, it might not matter. But if you're a person who's looking to not run into any part of their past, it might be for the best.
Well, thank you. I will keep that in mind. Excuse me. And he's just gonna generally look around and stuff. I can't think of anything at the moment.
Well, it's fine. If you think of anything later, too, we can run that as well.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, we might end up doing that.
yeah, that's fine. All right. So we've got Paul's a eating, Eden's a dead people, and Thea's a reading, and Nate's a hallelujah. So we've Yaz, hallelujah. That's what it's been the whole time, just the hallelujah hands. I just am moved by the spirit a lot right now. So, all right. So, what from here for you guys? Is somebody checking into rooms or meeting up for food or?
Yeah, I say probably we would
I would
end up
probably go
just,
for food and drinks.
yeah, meet up where Paul's eating and then get a room and call it for the night, probably, right, guys?
Yeah, sounds about
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Eden is gonna see if he can ask around real fast to find the fanciest inn in Emerald City.
Because, of course,
Okay.
she's got to stay at the fanciest inn.
Naturally.
Fancy
So
in at the Emerald City.
there
It's
would be
gonna be
people.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There would be people that were at that are kind of not quite guarding, but just doing general security and checking up on places like the temple and the corridor of the gods. So right there are people that know the city pretty well available. one of them that you talk to, she'll look at you and kind of like raise an eyebrow and say, "Well, now, hun, what you need to actually think about what you want to ask is it the swankiest, fanciest place that you want? The place where you're going to be treated the best? The place where you get the best value for your dollar?"
Everything but the
Those-
last one.
Everything but the last one. Okay. So, if you want the fanciest place in town, then if you can get into Smeraldi Spires, they oftentimes have places for rent, but that's usually for dignitaries and things to that effect. Quite pricey. But if they've got free rooms, they'll be the nicest places in town. The Flying Tweedle is generally pretty nice as well. It's right outside the city courts. But
Hmm.
the place you're going to be treated the best is the Hospitality House in the Dregs. Might not be quite as fancy, but the rooms are still nice, and you're treated really, really well there.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, dear. And do let us know if you need any other help. Come and find me.
I will. Thank you. I do so appreciate it. You've been more than accommodating.
Well, it's always nice to see happy faces about.
Certainly. Thank you. So he'll go on the earpiece and he'll say, I'm getting us rooms at a place called the Emerald Spire. I'll meet you there.
Awesome.
You think Paul's going to be allowed into
Sorry,
the Emerald
Smeraldi,
Spire?
You're just gonna have to sneak him in.
We're gonna
Well,
sneak you in
Tie
that
you up and
rope
gag
room.
you.
Cat. Bring him in as an exotic pet.
And then, yeah.
Just comes in caged. Alrighty, so you're going to the Smeraldi Spires, eh? Alright. Are you gonna be doing your thing of like earning money there and then okay.
Yeah.
Roll me a performance check. Fuck! Excuse me.
I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a bardic inspiration as well. And he'll go ahead and dump all of his third level spell slots into his performance. Plus... Come on, computer. So that's a
You can do
33.
it. Oh, jeez. You do really, really well for yourself. So I'm gonna say, like, with the time that you have available, you'll probably be able to rack up a good, like, even though it's not very long, I'll say you can probably rack up a good 350 gold. Which, yeah,
Dang.
yeah, this is a fancy ass part of town, you guys. These people have a lot of money to spend. You rolled really stupid high. I will say that because of how expensive this inn is, that's going to eat a good chunk of it.
That's fine.
This is for really, really fancy people. So you're gonna go in and ask about rooms, eh?
Mhm.
You are in luck because they had people that were supposed to be staying here tonight. They would have been full up, but that person in their entourage didn't show. So they have spare rooms available, and they are very nice rooms. In a very nice place, the very nice rooms are really ridiculously grand. So you are able to secure rooms here, and they are like small mansions. So yeah, there are two rooms, two rentable spaces. Each one has two rooms of its own and a middle section in between the two spaces that has like a whole lounging area and like all of this really fancy stuff. Like there's a wet bar in each of them, all of these nice things. There's actually like running water and hot baths and stuff in room there.
Perfect.
It's really fancy. So yeah, you've
You'll
you've
get both
got the
rooms.
space. All right. So yeah, that'll probably eat about 200, 250 of it.
She's actually just going to go ahead and give the full 350 he made
Oh,
and
awesome.
request room service in the morning.
Perfect. So, with that, you guys meet up and have the nicest digs in town. How do you divide this? Because this is going to be important before our break-off point tonight. Where are people?
Yeah, where are you guys?
You said there's like a
Because
tub
Eden
with
is
hot
getting a
water.
room to himself.
Yeah, like each like room
Sweet.
within the room, yeah, has its own like bathing area with hot water and everything like that. It's
And there was a
plumbed.
wet bar.
Yep, there's a wet bar in the shared space between the two rooms in each
Yeah.
suite.
Paul is going to be wearing a robe that is way too big for him. And he is going to drink
Yes.
and pass out behind the wet bar.
How many rooms were there in
So
total?
there's
2/4.
2 suites, but 4 separate bedrooms. And there are other spaces that can be used for beds, and like one of the bedrooms in each suite has 2 beds, so it's like one has 1 bed, one has 2 beds. Sorry, I should have specified that. So one is a single room, one is a double room, so there's actually 6 beds.
Are you staying in the room or are you going to stay in your cart?
He's deciding.
It would be a real waste to stay in the cart.
Yeah.
It would.
It would. I'm just trying to decide how I want to do this.
You could bring your bucket into the hotel.
None of us
You
know
could.
about
I
this guy, I
will.
don't
So
think.
I will take one of the. I'll take one of the singles.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be sleeping on the bed. I'm going to be sleeping in the tub.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay then. So there's actually still a bed available there too.
Except
I'm
that
getting my own bed.
except that I wouldn't want anyone to know what I do at night. So
Oh, well, like
that's why I got the single.
The bathroom area is separate. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like it's a shared thing in the suite.
Oh,
So
I
yeah.
thought
area.
each suite had its own bathroom. Never mind.
Suite does, but the suite has 2 bedrooms that share the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
It's a big freaking space.
Okay. I thought each bedroom had its own.
No.
Okay. So yeah, I will do that. As
So you're
everyone's
in
bedding
the
down for the night, I will be in the bathroom, in the tub, sort of
Good
liquid
deal.
formed.
Good deal. All right. So we've got one passed out behind the wet bar. How are you, the rest of you guys, divvying up space?
I'm just taking an empty bed that's available and passing out. I don't care.
Okay.
Eden is taking a solo
If
room.
I was allowed to check out any books from the library, I would probably pass out on a couch somewhere, like with the book open, like facing book.
Yes, you would be allowed to, with the understanding that it has to be turned in the next day, if you are not from the city. So yes, you are allowed a temporary lend. So you are passed out on the couch. All right. So you guys are all doing this thing. I would like you guys to roll for me a d6. Yeah, all of you.
6.
6.
5.
Uh-huh.
6.
Oh, geez. What was that, Steven?
Sorry, my computer's being slow.
No worries.
5.
5. Okay.
2
Um.
5s, 3 6s. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Poor Steven. Okay. Steven. I'm about to release you. Steven, you hear a tapping in the night after you've kind of settled down. You've done your writing, done your other things. You hear a strange tapping at your window. And turning to look, you see a wide-eyed boy with very green eyes tapping. You're like several stories up. He's tapping at your
Lost
window.
Boys?
Huh? Um,
Vampires?
he's tapping at your window and just smiling, very, very largely, kind of middle of the night. And we're gonna stop there. That's a good place to stop.
All right.
Shoot him. Shoot him.
I know you didn't get to smash anything or anything like that, Jazz, but did everybody have a good time?
For sure. Don't invite him
Yeah.
in because
Yeah.
vampires can't come inside the house if you don't invite.
Exactly.